5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're old, groaning like a geezer.
Indeed, where is the beef? The beef is right here. Welcome, everybody. It is Graybeard's Studio, episode 112. And as you can notice here, I just have a little peach fuzz. I was trimming my own beard and then had to crop it really, really close. And as my wife said, it'll grow back in 3 days, which is pretty much the truth. So speaking of the truth, here's a man that only speaks the truth. Please welcome David Williams.
I was going to ask you about this. You know, you shaved off your gray beard and you just threw your face into some like powdered donuts.
I wish. And with the jelly inside. No, that's what, see, we had this big conversation. It was last show about the barbershop, or was it 2 shows ago? I don't know. But it was like, this is what happens. You trim your own beard, you slip, and you're like, crap. So then, but there is still gray here, so it still counts. It's just very, very, very thin. So here's a guy who's really, really thin. Gary Martin. Look at that.
And I'm getting thinner. This blue bug is hanging on. I wasn't feeling well last week, and I'm still under the weather. In fact, I have a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. Classic. Speaking of classic, how about this guy, Dan Lawless?
Hey, how's it going? Gary, are you seriously not feeling well, or?
It was all for the joke, Dan.
It was just a joke?
All for the joke.
Well, no, I do have the flu.
Okay.
You're so seriously.
Are you thin or are you thin-skinned?
I think he's.
I don't think I'm thin-skinned.
Okay, good.
But everybody is, to some degree.
You can't be on the internet. You can't be thin-skinned on the internet.
I'm thin-bearded. Hey, you know what? We have a guest today, which, I got to give David Williams credit. He has been out there fishing, and he's been trying to get some big name people on this show. So we're working towards that. But everybody's sort of demands. They want money, snacks, like stuff. And so we're trying to work through all that. But
wait, you can get money?
I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
What am I working for free for?
Well, we do have a guest today, though. And this is a guy that can still turn Priscilla Presley's head a little bit. It's the teen sensation, Billy Tucci.
Tucci!
Now, Billy, luckily, there he is.
Hello!
Luckily, I did a little research, and I found out that Kit Carter was actually in the West Coast Avengers for 2 issues. So it's okay for you to draw Kit Carter.
Oh, I'm actually not drawing. I'm drawing a page. I'm drawing a page, roughing out a page.
Well, we could argue that she maybe crossed over to the West Coast Avengers somewhere in there.
Well,
maybe
it's the '60s part of She Gay Crest, so they are in Kit Carter, Hollywood-esque.
Okay, so you're basically stealing my IP without really stealing it, is what you're saying.
Yes, unlike Jimmy Reyes.
That's right. Jimmy just comes out and does it. But
it's a scene in the book.
Just don't. You can't call it Kit Carter. Kit Carson is okay, but not Kit Carter.
Well, Kit Carson was a cowboy, so then you got that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, slaughtered a bunch of Indians.
Oh, you know what? Somebody sent me a picture of. He goes, every time I see this girl post something on her Twitter feed, he goes, I think of you that you should get her to do be on a cover or something. And it's this cosplayer as a bubble helmet space girl. So I'll bring that photo up later. It's kind of
that would be cool. A cosplay cover.
Yeah, but you know how much money that would cost me to get a costume made just for that?
Oh, I thought she had one.
And then, well, yeah, but it's not. It's just it's her version of. It's not Kit Carter. It's
right.
It's more Barbarella than it is Kit Carter.
Right.
Anyway. All right. So we had some really interesting conversations going on backstage as we normally do. And then Dan, of course, always goes, "Whoa, save it for the show, Aaron. Save it for the show." And I'm like, yes, of course.
Oh my God, so much material.
I know. So we'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's see who here is in the chat. Creative Faye is here. She says, "Hi, Elder Beards and Billy Tucci. I'm looking forward to the show. I think today I'll draw Khonshu and Moon Knight. I don't know who Khonshu is, but I know who Moon Knight is."
Khonshu? Who's Khonshu?
Is that like his little advisor or something? Like the Egyptian spirit god?
Moon Knight's Merv.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, okay. That makes sense to me now. Toxic Dust 13 is here. He says, "Why no bros last night?" There was bros last night. We were on Andy's channel.
Wait a minute. Wino Bros? Is that like you drinking while you're on the show?
Wino Bros. we were just like on the street, just laying out. Passmaster Dan is here. Glitch, her and the Steadfast, Pantheon, Randy Howell, all the way from Canada. He says, if Billy doesn't have a full beard, we deduct 10 points from his drawing. Billy is clean shaven. His wife won't put up with any of that facial hair crap. So,
yeah, she doesn't like it.
Andy Dalif is here. Sequential Artiste is joining us. The Vespa guy for 10 big ones. Thank you very much, Vespa. Says, "Hail Graybeards in the chat. Making lasagna today, so I'll just be listening for now. I'll go back to watch the magic happen later tonight, although I know who the winner is already. It's Gary."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Vespa and I go way back. So he's always going to be in my corner.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think, wait a minute. I can't let that go.
You're despicable.
Yeah, I got a new one. How about that, huh?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that one.
All right. Best Age Comics is here. Chauncey Blakey is joining us. Randy Howell all the way from Canada. Did I already say that? I don't know. Pitty Maw is joining us. Lord Hinson, Comic Skater. Hail No Beard Aaron. Hail to the true heroes, the Graybeards. There's still some stuff going on here. It's like
still there, yeah.
Still there, though. House of R, Lone Star Viper, Hojo. He says, finally, I'm happy this won. So he's a big fan of West Coast Avengers, apparently. Ink on Paper is joining us.
I almost didn't put West Coast Avengers in that poll. I almost picked a different Marvel team.
What were you
Why
thinking?
would they have a West Coast Avengers?
That John Byrne.
Oh, not Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight, yeah. Because I wanted Alpha Flight. I was hoping Inhumans would win, so I was trying to load it with. I was like, oh, that's not fair. So I tried,
Oh no, you could be unfair.
And Inhumans ended up in third place.
Yeah, poor Inhumans. Just like
you gotta pick something really stinky. You can. It's your. If you look for the outcome you want, man. Cheat it.
Gary's always trying to weight the polls, but it never works for him.
No, it doesn't. It hasn't worked yet.
You gotta wait a lot better, but
it always backfires on him. So Billy, you raised the question there. Why do we need a West Coast Avengers?
Yeah, why the West Coast Avengers? It's interesting.
Well, I think when you got so many extra characters that don't have their own title, you got to put them someplace.
That's a terrible title, though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
My God, it sounds gay.
Didn't they have the?
Probably is.
Didn't they have the Great Lakes Avengers too, or something?
No,
like that?
they did not.
Okay. They're Great Lakes Avengers.
I thought they did. Tooch.
The
Stealth
Finger
And then,
Lakes.
and then the Panhandle Avengers. And
What's the story behind that? Like, why did it? Like, I mean, okay, I get they want to have Avengers. Like, if the Avengers are doing well, you can't, keep the way Marvel
most
does
of the
it
Avengers
now.
are in New York City, right? That's
Yeah.
where all the superhero epicenter is. So they wanted to get some in LA, right, for the movies.
Is that where they were? They were in LA.
Yeah, and then
Well,
they had like a miniseries. It was the Redneck Riviera Avengers. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I think this
terrible.
has got legs. I mean, this could
What
work.
was like
Oh, no,
an
wait a minute.
East Coast, West Coast beef thing going on?
I don't know, David. Didn't they call you about doing Avengers in the Hood or something like that?
Yeah, it was the Compton Avengers, but they keep shooting each other.
Oh my god, dude! What? Disavow.
Look at Billy. He can't take it. Stealth X5 is here. Scott Christie Jones, Jason McQuiston, popping in to say howdy, folks. Well, thanks for joining us, Jason. Let's see here.
See, Billy, we got our own giant mail in here. His name's David.
Hang on a second here. Dan, that's you, Lawless. I might buy an artwork of yours if you do an LSU themed Tigra, yellow fur and purple stripes.
That's funny because I was gonna do Tigra.
I knew you didn't. I call it, David. I was talking to David last night.
Yep.
I said, I'll bet money because I was talking about what I might do, and I said, well, we'll see what Dan does. And I went, wait a minute, Dan's going to do Tigra, of course. So
Well, no, what did they say? What kind of Tigra though? Because I just got the one with the kind of the
LSU, Louisiana State University, purple and gold.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm doing the one with the bikini. That
Well, yeah, but he just says when you color it, make it purple and gold as opposed to the normal colors. Stealth X5 for $2. Hello, thanks, Stealth. Appreciate that. Best name I can think of is here. The Comic Crusader is joining us. Repairman Jack. He's excited that he made it. Matt says, I just got a 1959 Sears Allstate. What does that mean? Billy?
Allstate.
You know trivia. What does that mean?
I have no idea. Allstate? 1959.
Sears Allstate.
Nope, I don't know.
I thought it was going to be a car and then like maybe a catalog or something. I don't know.
I was thinking insurance.
Why in 1959?
You see, we baffle easily.
Yeah, very easily on this show. So Matt, you want to clarify exactly what that is someplace in the chat here so we can. Geek Hero Bubba is joining us. Marcus Killer Group, purveyor of all things pop culture knowledge, says, I spent the weekend counseling Billy Tucci at the SCCC. Is that true?
Oh, gosh, yeah, with all the drama that was going on.
Oh, he was your... So he was like Lucy. Did you give him like 5 cents and he was like your psychiatric help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's pretty much it. And the interesting thing is he had a booth set up. It was actually a lemonade stand. And he just taped over. It said advice, $5.
There it is. Well, yeah, the price has gone up. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's
Elliot Rodriguez Art says, I finally made it on time. Thanks, Elliot. We appreciate you coming in. Bloody Drake, there he is. Brian Suddenly Old. Yes, they did. GLA was a thing, and Flatman was their leaders. All right.
So who was in the West Coast Avengers? I'm sorry. I heard Tigra, so I guess Tigra's like, is she like
Hawkeye,
Scarlet Witch,
Vision,
Iron Man.
Who?
Iron Man,
War Machine.
Iron Man was?
Yeah, War Machine, Power Man, Hank Pym, but just as Hank Pym, and then
Hank Pym who would get gigantic.
Moon Knight was in it for a while. So was Ultron, for some strange reason, was in it for a while. There's a lot of characters.
Very interesting.
What was that? Who's that chick? Nightingale, Nightbird, David? Who was that we were talking about?
Mockingbird.
Mockingbird. There was another one.
Mockingbird.
There you go.
Was Hawk and Dove in it?
No, the wrong company. Wrong company.
Was I? I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
That was a test.
The Encyclopedia of Comic Book Knowledge. Billy Tucci is joining us today. Okay, so can anybody translate this? Yes, they did. GLA was a thing, and Flatman was their leader.
Great Lakes
Avengers. Okay, see, I was right. Unless
so were they going after Canadians or something like that?
I have no idea.
The Avengers.
I could have swore there was a Great Lakes Avengers. I
Well,
could have swore
that would be Michigan, Chicago. I mean, it'd be a lot of stuff.
right.
Postmaster Dan said Goliath was in there, but wasn't he Black Goliath?
Yeah, that's right. There's no. Well, no, wait a minute. There's also a white Goliath. Hank Pym was Goliath for a while in the '60s.
You know what? I think I knew that. In all honesty, I really think I knew that because I was going to say that's Hank Pym.
Yeah.
Pym.
Well, he was Giant Man. He was Ant-Man, Giant Man, Goliath, and then the Yellow Jacket, and he obviously just was never happy with how he was representing the superhero world, and he just kept changing things. So,
I love that Ant-Man costume. I think that was a great design.
I like the little thing where he could talk to the ants. That little.
Yeah.
Bob Gable is here. It says insurance. Of course, he's talking about the Sears. Oh, Randy Hall says Sears used to sell cars as well.
Wow.
So is that a car model? A 1959 Sears Allstate? Is that actually a car?
Look it up.
Kyle, I'm not going to. Don't get me off on a tangent, Dan. Kyle Miller is here. Grogu. Let's see. There's Borovohe Garebeck. I love saying that. Texas Twister, he says. Was in Texas Twister. Are you serious? Living Lightning? Who are these people?
No, it's less racist than Black Lightning.
There appears to be an Allstate car.
They could have.
Yep, a Sears Allstate automobile.
What did Living Lightning have to qualify?
I think it was a chick.
Does that to separate himself from Dead Lightning?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was a girl though. Living Lightning, I think, was a girl character, female character.
Oh, so that explains it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying. You were misrepresenting your pronouns, so I wanted to make sure that you understood there was not a you.
Right.
And they're saying that Brian Suddenly Old says the Great Lakes Avengers headquarters was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So there you go. Mighty
Sears
Magic
Allstate car was pretty stupid looking.
Oh, did you find it?
Yeah.
But how much is it worth, whether it's stupid looking or not? How much is it worth?
Oh, that's a good idea. For sale. Let's try to buy one.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't want one of these.
Let's see.
That could be the official Graybeard's vehicle.
Share it with us, Dan. Share it with us, and I'll bring it up.
Hang on a second. I'm pulling some pieces.
Hey, there's Captain Bitbo. How about that? All right. Skull Nasher insulting us, saying these so-called pros don't even know the characters. Well, yeah.
That's because we're not nerds.
Firebird, says Stippling Vaughn. So is Firebird, and then that's different than Living Lightning, I guess. So maybe I was thinking of Firebird instead of Living Lightning. Maybe Living Lightning was a dude. All right, here we go.
It's a drink.
There it is. The Allstate. I don't know. I kind of like that.
I kind of like it too.
Really?
I actually like it.
It's a dark
bad,
car, man.
No, I mean, for an old car, it kind of looks like a 57 Chevy. Kind of.
It looks like Columbo's car.
Yeah, it's really like just a bare bones.
Yeah.
It's
hard to make an old car like this.
Isn't it amazing how Amazon, that Sears, the Sears catalog was Amazon before Amazon, and they blew it like they're not Amazon now?
Yeah, that's true. I wonder how
3,000. Here was someone selling one for $3,600 in 2018. It's kind of hot rodded out too.
That sounds about right.
I want to know who made these for them, though. It's like they didn't have their own car manufacturing plant. This is obviously they had somebody manufacturing for this, and then they put their name on it.
Right? You think the Chi-Coms did it or something? Let's see.
No, I'm just saying, like maybe it's a Ford or a something like that. I don't know.
All right, let's see. It was from. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. It was offered from 1952 to 54 only.
Okay. So
it was built, developed.
While you're looking at that, the Vespa guy for $5. Thank you, Vespa. He says the Vespa made a scooter for Sears as well, sold under the Sears name. I have one to restore. Looks like a mix of a scooter and a motorcycle. How about that? Sears.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, we're learning all sorts of stuff about Sears.
This is crazy.
I used to work for
It was
Montgomery
a big
Ward.
company.
But they were Sears and Roebuck.
Huge.
It was built in Willow Run, Michigan, and Toledo, Ohio.
They
What
had
company though? What company built it?
The Kaiser Fraser, Germans
Okay.
and Germans and
German influence there, huh?
yeah.
About
And
that.
the grill was designed by Alex Tremulous, who had come from the Tucker Corporation. Tremulous described it as a rush job.
You think?
Really?
And we all know what that means.
So you're saying it was really safe on the road, is what you're.
Oh my God.
Griever Enterprises for 5 says, "Hail, teen sensation! Don't phone it in, Billy. Give me some notice for the next auction since Aaron doesn't leave his state for me to get a commission. I'm going to New Mexico in January, and I'm going to San Diego in July. How about that? I got a story about San Diego. We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh,
A lot of guys. The Connect is joining us. Catalyst, Vault, H&R, Glitch, all the way from across the pond is joining us. Ted Lehman is here. Looks like a Studebaker, he says. So N2 Paints joining
That's what
us.
I was thinking too. Not as cool though.
I know.
It looks like a Soviet car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something that Goldfinger'd be driving around in a Bond movie or whatever.
Yeah, there's all good party members would own that vehicle.
All right, let's do a little show and tell, shall we? David, what do you got for us? Anything?
I sent you a bunch of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Bunch of stuff.
So Billy, regale us with tales of the open road while I dig up these.
Yes, well, I had a great time with Andy Smith and the fair Helen. Of course, Dennis Turner and his beautiful wife Susie. We had a lot of fun with them. Hung out with Shane. Hung out with Dan Fraga this past weekend at the South Carolina Comic-Con, which was fantastic. What a great show.
So you made some money, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, made some money. Yeah, made some money. Very celebrity heavy show though.
Well, you almost hooked up with someone, didn't you? Who was that now?
Yes, I was actually, and this is not a lie. This is not a lie.
Yeah.
No, really, it's not. It's really not. Priscilla Presley checked me out. Now she couldn't see me really because I was silhouetted from behind like a film.
So maybe she was checking out your booty. Is that?
I guess so. No, I was walking towards her, and I guess she just saw some man walking towards her. And apparently it's been a while since she's had a man. Mike Stone, the karate instructor, I guess. And
but you weren't there when she talked to him.
No, Debbie and I were having dinner with I think my son's girlfriend's parents. We had left them, but we were breaking each other's chops. And then, of course, Priscilla, with the hands that apparently she had groped Elvis's balls in, put her arm, put that very hand, held Andy's hand.
Oh my God!
Horrifying. Just think about it.
But kid show. This is.
So that's what you were thinking about, is what has touched those hands.
That's what Andy was. That's what Andy said.
Your hand in the hand.
These are the hands that cupped Elvis's balls.
Wow. Wow.
And he came.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. But it was a lot of fun. Debbie had a lot of fun. What a great city, Greenville, SC. If any of you have been, I highly recommend if you have the means because it's so choice. And just had a good time. Good all around time. It's good seeing everybody. That's what can I say? What can I say?
That was perfect timing because I got David's work. So let's take a look at what David is showing us today. Let's see here. I got to push some buttons. I keep forgetting that. All right, that looks like Medusa to me.
Wow.
Yeah, because I didn't want to draw any West Coast Avengers. I wanted to draw the Inhumans. You guys picked wrong again, people in the chat. Doggone it.
Just give him one selection. Just why don't you just say Inhumans and then pick which character you want to draw then.
That's right. Go Inhumans, and then
or just say, like pick the characters particularly, like Medusa.
Yeah, just wait until I get to pick again next time.
Well, you're next week, so
I'm putting y'all in a box.
You say humans Unhumans and Inhumans.
Mm.
Well, oh gosh, this is nice. Are these commissions, David?
Yeah, these are all commissions.
Look at this. Look at this black bolt.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Wow.
Sweet.
Outstanding.
That lighting.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do with, like, you know, less is more, where you just know where to put the black spots. It's perfect. You know, it's like it gives you more, looks more intense than it would be if you did all that line kind of linear stuff. It's got, it just feels like light.
Yep.
I'm jealous of that, to be bold and to just do that.
I know.
I have to learn to try it.
It's like your Gotham by Gaslight last week was just the same type of thing. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, black and white dropout, but you got to know where to put those things. That's the trick. You know, it's not that easy.
Right. There's Karnak the Magician.
Oh, that's great, man.
Oh yeah, okay. I remember this one.
Karate Dude. I love that face.
Yeah.
So did one guy hire you to do all the Inhumans, or is
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was never a fan of Karnak. I thought it was always kind of a punk, but this is really cool.
I was gonna say this is the best drawing of them I've ever seen. So
action.
That's how you know you're a good artist, when you take a lame character and make him look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
That is wonderful.
So he's like, what? Sees a fly on his kitchen floor, and
he's like, well, he could couldn't he like chop stuff in half? I mean, like serious stuff. Triton.
Wait,
Wow.
Under.
Who dat?
Triton.
Triton.
I don't know this character.
He's like the fish guy from
Inhumans.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just never really read Inhumans, so I don't know.
Do you remember that famous
Neil Adams
splash page of Triton?
Yeah, when he's coming in on the dock. I was just thinking about that. Yeah, it's so awesome.
So when you don't have anything to do, Aaron, during the show, could you find that?
Yeah, sure. I'll get right on that.
Maybe
now I'm going to, because it's going to drive me crazy.
I want to see it too, so maybe I can find it for you.
Oh,
what's it called?
God.
He's Triton.
Neil Adams.
Triton.
Neil Adams. Man. Yeah, just put in Triton. Neil Adams will probably come up.
Neil Adams Triton. Yeah, that'll do it.
Look at that. That's great. That's Gorgon or whatever his name is.
Wow. My goodness.
And there he is, stomping on the fly that's on the
stomping on Karnak that was stomping on the fly.
They seem very angry, all of these.
Yeah.
Well, they're inhuman. They don't feel good about themselves. So
you know what's cool? It's like it has like a Kirby feel, but it's not. You know, it's like almost like if you combine Kirby and Buscema or something like that. It's such a cool blend of different kinds of aspects of art.
Well, David's sense of dynamics are so good. It's like it just pisses me off, but
as it should.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice. No, what was
That's what
this?
you want to do.
That's right. Piss off your friends.
Then everybody's got to like pick up their game. That's what's great.
Yep. Now this is West Coast Event. No, is it?
I was going to ask you guys. I don't know. It's some Avengers.
Well,
no, it's just regular
Wolverine,
Avengers.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, because there's Sentry or whatever. He was in it for a while. The Avengers. Isn't this like the Finch Avengers? When Finch was doing not West Coast Avengers. What were they called? The
Dark Avengers? No. Dark Avengers?
No, before that it was Bendis wrote it. I actually read it. I can't. You guys help me. Mighty Avengers. That's what it was. Thank you, Randy.
So it was the person with the mohawk.
Oh, that's like Ares or something like that, isn't it? Like he's like.
Yeah. I think
kind of like a god of war or something like that.
Gladiator.
Yes,
it's Gladiator
for $2. Is Gladiator?
I bet he was.
Yeah, it was Gladiator.
No, the Gladiator had like buzz saws on his wrist. It was a
Gladiator, but he had the mohawk, didn't he?
I don't know. Maybe he's the new Gladiator. For $2, love that Karnak. Johnny Carson never looked better. Thinks Karnak looks like. Oh, I get it.
Hang on. Can I do that? I understood that reference.
Boravohe Berbix says that's Ares.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
You know,
got you, Neil Adams here.
This was colored by this new colorist. His name was I keep forgetting his name. I think it's Kelsey Shannon.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that guy, but he's like hardly ever been seen. I got one more, Dan. Then we'll take a look at that Neil Adams. I'm not showing the Wolverine, David, because we've already shown that on here.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Nice.
How many covers did you do for these?
About how many? About I don't know. Probably about 6 or 7.
Yeah, I did 4. I did the first 4 issues of the Marvel Adventures Avengers. Issue 37. Well, I didn't know it went on that long. Yeah, it was just because Mark Panisha, I think, was the editor on it, and I was doing Planet Hulk or just finished Planet Hulk, or I did something for him Hulk related, and he like threw me like 4 covers in a row. I was like, yeah.
This was colored by Sean Galloway. Cheeks.
Oh, Cheeks got really. We should get him on the show.
Did you guys ever work with that Marvel? Did you guys ever work with the Marvel editor who just committed suicide, just killed himself?
What?
Oh.
Who's this?
When did this happen?
The trans one. The guy's trans. He murdered his dad, killed his mother, his father.
What?
Yeah, he died. He's dead.
When was that?
Committed suicide this weekend.
That guy was an editor?
Yeah, he was an editor.
Okay, now you just
he's the best editor ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just spelled out the plot himself. The plot for the film. Ex-Marvel editor.
Let's see, bleeding
trans killed his parents and then committed suicide.
Yeah. Marvel.
That's terrible.
I never heard of this. I mean, I saw the picture of the guy and saying that he killed himself, but I was like,
I never heard of him. Nora Harwitz.
Who?
Nora.
Show Billy.
Well, he's a dude, and he changed his name to a girl. 38 years old. So Nora Horowitz, I guess now, former Marvel Comics editor Nora Horowitz has died at age 38 after taking her own life this past weekend.
I mean, his own life.
His name?
Yeah,
Norbert.
Norbert.
So he took the life of his male counterpart and now the female counterpart.
So he killed 2 people.
He killed 2 people.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, yeah. Don't dead name him.
That's terrible.
Let me find an image because they don't show the images of. Okay. Oh boy.
No, I'm not going to show that guy's ugly mug on.
You see him, right? You see him.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Okay.
All right.
So just
but
for
Bleeding
YouTube.
Cool didn't come. Bleeding Cool doesn't show his image. He just shows the art that some of the covers of the books he worked on.
Well, here's some beautiful artwork. Who is the editor on this?
Wow.
I don't know. Stan the Man. So yeah, look at that the Triton splash page by Neil Adams.
I've seen the original art to this. I knew a dealer that had this original, and I held it in my greasy hands.
Really?
Stan identifies as the man.
Huh?
Wow.
That is.
This
is like one of my favorite, man, because Neil Adams did those 3 issues of Avengers, 94, 95, 90. No, 90. It was 94, 95, 96, and 97. So he did 4 issues of Avengers.
I'm pretty sure I redrew this cover.
Hey, Dan, click on the black and white image.
That was resolution so slow at that, or so low on that I couldn't really.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was kind of. I could.
Carbon dioxide is right.
It's too low. It was really.
Look at all that zip.
Yeah.
You
used a lot of Zipatone.
Yeah, it's too.
And this, Tom Palmer. These are great inks because Palmer inked him on his X-Men stuff.
Is that it?
Didn't he?
See, I love Tom Palmer's inks. I just every time I see him.
He was great over Neil Adams. He's freaking awesome over Neil Adams.
The black and white almost looks better, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
It's got more feel.
The coloring of that Baxter paper doesn't really help it out much.
Yeah.
The color seems like it just took out the Zipatone altogether.
Yeah. The carbon dioxide is correct. It does look better on newsprint.
Yeah, there's JC Vaughn says great page. I remember that one.
Yeah, JC was
Hey,
great.
JC.
Yeah. Check us out.
All righty. Okay. Gary, what have you got for us? Can I bring it up?
I don't want to follow Neil Adams and David Williams.
Well, life's tough. Here we go.
Since I've been, in my sick bed this week, I haven't done that much work. So I'm just going to I just dug into my files and pulled out some past stuff. This is a page, Judge Dredd. I did a few issues inking over Tommy Lee Edwards.
Mm.
Looks
Very,
like Magnolia.
very different inking style for me. But yeah, he was influenced by Mignola back then. But very graphic, you know, no feathering, just kind of blocky. Lots of blacks. Here is a Dan Jurgens Doom Patrol page.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And here's
Jurgens on
this
Doom
talking about Zipatone. Was able to zip
Oh,
robot.
you didn't do that by hand with a brush?
Nope.
Like a
Nope.
number 12 brush?
Yeah, I inked those lines with a brush. Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Here is a Steve Lytle Wonder Woman page that I inked, and I can't remember what this was for. It was like a 6-page story somewhere, and I can't remember where it was, but it was about the time. I think it was right before I worked with him on Doom Patrol.
That's what I was going to ask you. Was this before or after Doom Patrol? Before, okay.
Wonder Woman is a little bit tough to make hot, you know.
It's America's mom.
Here is a X-Men page penciled by Ben Herrera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So very, very stylistic. Lots of recognizable influences there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah,
what else we
cocaine in
got.
there, huh? Almost like.
yeah, a little golden is what I'm seeing.
Golden,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
David Williams, maybe.
And
Jason Pearson.
Yeah.
speaking of Matt Ryan, I inked one of his Spider-Man stories. This is kind of an interesting.
So Matt Ryan, when he was penciling, you inked him.
Yeah, a couple of times.
That's interesting.
Hey, who's the writer on this, Gary?
I don't remember the title, so I'm not going to remember the writer.
Because I might have been offered this book.
Okay. Do you remember Spider-Man and dinosaurs?
Yeah. And I said no.
But I mean, well, come on, you can't deny this is cool.
That one piece is. But I wanted Spider-Man in the city.
Dude, I would have jumped all over Spider-Man and dinosaurs, man. That'd have
I
been
know you
Yeah,
would.
man.
I only did one Spider-Man backup story, Spider-Man Dead's Hand or something like that, and I hated it because I drew kind of a classic Spider-Man, and at the time they had that, you know, Eric Larson and all that stuff. So I took my classic Spider-Man, just inked over it in the really skinny legs and all that kind of stuff. And just they ruined the whole thing. I was just like, this isn't even in my artwork anymore. It sucked. I was pissed. That was getting near the end of my comic book frustrations. I was just like, I hate, you know, drawing something and I just get it back and it's not the thing I drew at all.
Yeah.
So
Marcus Killigrew says Ben Herrera is working with EVS. I didn't know that. How about that? All right.
David, do you get a agent commission for that?
No.
All righty. Oh, you colored it.
yeah, I think you guys saw it in black and white, and here it is colored.
Whoa,
that's great.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of the
great.
now this is
Really good.
from the book that Tom Tuttle has written. It's a Western with vampires and stuff, and this is kind of done. This is like the end page, sort of like in the tradition of you know, Bernie Wrightson would do those things in Eerie Creepy, where sort of a little goodbye, sort of see you next issue type thing, or hello, you know, either an introduction or a goodbye. So that's what he wanted me to do, and I did that. It was a lot of fun because I was kind of looking at that stuff, trying to get that feel, you know.
Well, I love how you did sort of a controlled color palette here. It's not exactly monochromatic, but it's close. I really like that.
Yeah, nighttime kind of thing. Yeah.
This is like one of your best pieces I've seen of
Yeah,
Really?
that's really, really cool. I love the
Nice.
dual lighting and everything you got
Yeah,
going
the
on.
underlighting is striking.
Yes, it is.
Right.
And I always wonder in a scene like this. This is like Star Trek. Where's the light coming from? It's like, is it in the grass? I mean, where's it?
There's a flashlight just off camera that he dropped.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, actually, that is interesting. I was thinking about that when I was looking at, you know, a lot of Wrights and stuff. He had a lot of light sources sometimes that just didn't make any sense, and it
Yeah, but
doesn't
they look
matter because
cool.
it's just
Right,
that's
exactly.
art.
It doesn't matter. It's what what adds to the coolness of it.
Right.
And this this was a great choice to light it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
really nice
impressionistic.
piece.
Impressionistic. You're getting an impression of something, not a literal thing. That's what's so great about comics.
But
Comics can do that.
That's my problem. Is I'm a literalist, and that's the first thing I think is like, okay, he's standing over some light in the grass, but how come that tree next to him doesn't have underlighting?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that ruins it, because none of that matters. It really doesn't. None of that matters.
Yeah.
This is
Well, I wanted to
super cool,
frame.
and
Obviously,
if you hadn't have done it, it wouldn't have been as cool.
right.
Yeah.
I wanted to. Obviously, I'm framing the guy with that black shape.
Right.
So
Interesting.
it's
You
just-
did the canines on top as opposed to the bottom, which traditionally people do. Werewolves have it on the bottom. The long
Oh,
canines.
that's right. That's right.
This is one of my favorite pieces you've done too.
Yeah, love it.
I really like it.
I mean, I should do more in this style. Yeah.
There you go.
I agree.
Excellent. Nice work, Dan.
Thanks.
Billy Tucci. You know what? We're going to do a little special thing for you because you have a campaign.
Oh,
And it is called She Gatecrasher.
yeah.
Go ahead, give us a few minutes of description of what we're looking at here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we the She Gatecrasher. Thank you, Aaron. I know you're going to do that. It's where she gets trapped in comic book time, and has to ally herself with Ran. I don't know if you want to play my video. My first inception of She, and that kind of explains it all. But I'm about to send the first 27 pages to the colorist this week.
Wow.
Maybe even 28. So I'm very excited. Want to get this book. If I can get this book to the printer by the end of the month, quite possibly can happen, or early May.
Okay. You got a Liefeld cover there. That was
Got a
quite
Rob cover by Rob Liefeld. Got a cover by, well, that's me, with some of the world's most recognizable cartoon characters, all in the public domain now. And we're gonna have a lot of public domain characters in there, Aaron Lepresti. Lots of genres and scenarios and decades, and Anna literally has to battle her way through the various decades of comics to find her way home. Usagi Yojimbo's in it by the great Stan Sakai. That could be an interesting thing for Graybeards. Rini made a great cover for me. Art T-Bear did the Aurora model inspired cover, because that's what that reminds me of.
It does, doesn't it?
I'd love to make a statue of that or a model. And we're doing so great. Indiegogo, thank you guys. We just surpassed $104,000 on Indiegogo. It's just past the Kickstarter, which is over 103,000.
Nice.
And I thank everybody for helping us. Lots of great stuff. I'm having the most fun I've ever had on a comic book. And I thank you guys for supporting us.
It sounds like a lot of fun, like a fun story.
Yeah, it is. And I can't wait to start sharing the colors. We're going to send it to Brian Miller, like I said, this week. And we'll start sharing. Written by J.C. Vaughn. And story by myself, J.C., with Stephen Peros, my pal Steve, who you've met, Steve, Aaron.
I have.
And a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. And it's something in for everyone. It's a feast of a graphic novel, if you will.
There you go.
So Billy, what are you doing? Are you doing are you doing tight pencils or loose pencils, or what's going on?
Okay, so I do my pencils sort of like this, right? I mean, they're pretty tight, I think. Now there's a long way to go for these, obviously. I'm laying it out now. And then I had an inker, but I liked how my inker, who's also a great penciler, did a cover, and just pencils. So I love that. So it's like a finisher in a way, I guess, if you will, but with pencils instead of inking it.
Really interesting.
Yeah, because I think it adds a really cool palette. It looks kind of watercolory, and it gives a softness to it.
Yeah,
and I love it. I love.
Was that how you did She Haikyuu, or was it?
Yes, Haikyuu. Yep. My past 3 She books have all been like that.
Yeah,
I've actually been doing that myself, going from my pencils for the most part, to pencils to color since '96.
Well, you know what, Billy? You will find a link in the description of this video that take people right to your campaign. I also have a campaign called Wraith of God 3, Fear Hollow. David's working on 2 issues called Fearsome that you can back. Dan Lawless, of course, has his Silence Do Good.
That's
I got
right.
a link for that in there for his special cover he did for that campaign, as well as his YouTube channel and Gary's book, Brush with Destiny. It's his art book. It's very cool. There's a link in there. I'll take you right there to get that if you're so inclined. So check out, there's lots of links in the description of this video. So check all those out. Okay, I'm going to show you real quick what I've got, and then we're going to start drawing as people are going, when are you going to start drawing? Okay.
And that's how they say it too.
That's how I read it.
Is that true?
That's how I read it.
Hey, Aaron, before you show your one thing, can I show just one more thing?
Yeah.
It's my son has been working on that Batman cowl that I wanted to show you, but there it is.
Oh,
Wow.
That's cool.
Your
Wait,
son's been working on this?
Yeah.
He's sculpting this in clay?
I sculpted it in clay, and then he did a 3D scan of it and did a 3D digital sculpt, and he printed it out, and he's finishing it right now.
Wow.
And so he printed it out.
That is so cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you can use it for reference too when you're drawing. That's so neat. You know?
I like the bolts.
Man.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Outstanding.
Very
I tell you, you guys are inspiring me.
That's what we're here for.
Man, we do art here, man.
There we go. Okay, so real quickly, when I should be in bed, I tend to draw stuff, and so I've done a Nosferatu smoking a cigarette. If you haven't seen that.
So it says
like
commissioned by Philip Morris.
Yeah, exactly. Now, see, I started off with Frankenstein smoking. We saw that one before, so now you've got Nosferatu smoking.
Man, look what that smoking does to you.
Yeah, I know.
Those guys were like really handsome.
And then, of course, the Mummy smoking.
Yeah.
Aaron, I'd ask, what markers are you using? Are you using Copic markers, or alcohol-based, water-based, or the Prismacolors? What are you using?
I'm using brush pens. Those, what are they called? The zebra.
Yeah. What about for your shading though? The markers and stuff.
That's what I'm using.
No, like on Frank. On Frank, see the gray. You have like
those are
grays.
Yeah, on that Frankenstein. Those are
Yeah. Yeah. What flesh?
I did this last night while talking to David on the phone. How about that?
What?
Aaron, what flesh do you use Copics? Which flesh markers?
I just use warm grays, and I don't usually use color.
Well, you do have a color. I've seen some of your colored ones.
Yeah, but those are colored pencils.
Oh, wonderful.
Billy, he uses
Aaron, let me translate.
He uses almond brown.
Yeah, Aaron, let me translate David's reaction to you saying that you drew that while talking to him on the phone. How dare you draw while you're talking to me on the phone?
Exactly.
Have you guys seen this?
No.
I traded Stephen Ing, who is Stuart Ing's brother, who had this book. It's on Chuck Jones's comic strip called Crawford, and there's a ton of sketches in here. Well, but then there's also all the comic strips. It's a really cool book.
Yeah, looks kind of cool.
So yeah, so he had this, and I traded some Daffy Duck artwork to him that I drew for this.
Wow.
There you go.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I hadn't either. So, all right.
Past Master Dad, Aaron, Big Tobacco, the Crusty.
Pushing the menthol, baby. Okay, so we're doing West Coast Avengers. So, David, who are you going to draw?
I'm going to do, there's 2 different Spider Women. So I'm going to have them fighting, and they're going to be scissoring.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, Billy, do you know what that means?
I do. I did go to fabric school after all.
I didn't think you were going to say that part. So there you go. Dan, we know, is going to draw Tigra. He already said that. Billy, of course, is doing his own thing because he thinks he can just come on here and do whatever he wants.
No, I wanted to hang out. I just wanted.
Yeah, I know how it is. Okay.
Who do you want me? I can say this is almost.
No, it's like on the air, Aaron's giving Billy a hard time. Off the air, Aaron is begging Billy to come on the show.
Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah.
Hey, come on the show. It would be nice. Hey, guys.
Hey, JC, if JC Vaughn is listening, can you send me some Kirby spaceship reference, please? If he's watching, can you send me those images for reference? Thank you.
Glitch wants to know, is one of the Spider Women called Tina? Just wants to know. Carbon dioxide says,
I hope not.
Tucci is pretty much Elvis. So
wait a minute. I can be Elvis. Hang on.
that's right. Okay, so there we go. Oh, and I'm going to do the vision. Before he turned white, although I'm going to do it in black and white anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Wait a minute, isn't a vision red?
Yeah.
So he's a race trader.
Remember when John Byrne made him like a white ghost-looking thing?
No.
Really? You guys don't remember that?
No.
People in the chat remember.
It sounds like you're underwater.
Sorry.
Oh, it's cool. I like. I almost saw my camera do it.
Aaron kicked himself out.
Yeah, he's looking for the reference, I think, for his fictional character.
Oh.
There I am. I don't know why this camera, it just gives me grief, man. I got a new cable and everything, and it's still. I'll try it again here.
Yeah, this is so hard. Isn't a camera like right in your face?
Well, it's over my, it's kind of hard to draw around, but it's over my shoulder here. But there's like a cable for some reason that connects to an extension cable that goes into my computer, and it doesn't really, it doesn't snap in real tight. And so it's kind of loose, and even after getting a new one, it's still doing it. It's just annoying.
I've had that problem too.
Crazy. So anyway, get a load of this. So San Diego Comic-Con has they have like early hotel sign up for exhibitors, and they send out a notification the 1st of December to let you know when the exact time and date is, and then you kind of wait on your computer like a maniac, and then when it turns live, you run in there and fill out a form as fast as you can to hope to get a hotel. So they never sent me the email, or I never got the email from them. So about 2 weeks after the fact, I emailed San Diego like, hey, when's the hotel sign up? And they go, oh, you missed it by 2 weeks. I'm like, what? So they had me fill out a form for late people, right? So I filled out the form, but there's no guarantee I'm going to get any hotel, right?
Oh boy.
So they automatically assume it's your fault.
Right. And but here's where it gets interesting. So it just shows up like 2 days ago. I get an email from Katie Did saying, oh my gosh, hey Billy, so happy you're here. Well, I'm glad that you like Billy enough to say that you're happy he's here.
Yeah, I was going to say, Aaron, are you gonna take that line down?
Wait a minute. Maybe Billy should just do the show by himself. I mean, he doesn't need the rest of us, right, Katie? Let's just all dip out, and Billy, the show's yours.
All right, let's talk San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay, Billy, take it from here.
All right, so San Diego Comic-Con. So for
No, but here's what happened. So like 2 days ago, they sent out another notice saying that they were having a downtown hotel sale. And I'm like, what is it? They've never done this before.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a second chance to get like whatever leftover hotels there are. And it's like, how can there be leftover hotels?
Right.
There never has been in the past. So anyway, I just filled that out this morning as a safeguard, to see if I could get one of those. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, well, wait a minute. Why are there extra hotel rooms? There's never extra hotel rooms. Billy, what do you think?
I'm calling my wife right now.
Well, no, you'll get noticed. You'll get a notification. I talked to OnPeak, and they're sending out the notifications or the assignments on the 15th or the 16th of April.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah,
I was curious because we did everything right.
Yeah. You shouldn't have a problem. But what I'm saying is, why are there extra hotel rooms available?
That is so curious. What is going on? I mean, Diamond is going to be there and setting up, but it must be the studio. Something's amiss, right?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Does it always fill up every year or what?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. You'll
Right
get
away.
like Warner's will book literally 30 rooms or more, and then they kind of come up. As the closer you get to the convention, rooms free up. You should, if you can request, why don't you request 2? Because Andy wants to go, and he doesn't have a room. He's kind of hoping to get something somewhere.
The homeless?
No, him and Helena are going, and he reached out to me, and I was like, and I'm like, dude, why didn't you reach out to me 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
well, they got those tents out there. You could be maybe one of those.
Well, if I get a hotel through the regular sign up, which I have no guarantee because I was late, but then I figure I must have if they're offering if they have extra hotel rooms they're trying to get rid of now.
Yeah.
So, and I signed up for that too. So I might end up with 2 hotel rooms. If I do, then I will. Let's see what I can help Andy with. But
yeah, let him know. There's always, it's very strange at that. They're very late on a lot of things, and I wonder why. They're very late.
Yes.
Because normally, like the panels, like I haven't heard from them about panels. Have you?
No, but I don't ever.
You're too busy making money.
Huh?
You're too busy making money.
Oh yeah, is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Trying to make money.
No, Billy, that's not it. They just don't ask him.
Oh my God.
Well, there's that too. There's that too.
Wow. Well, Lopez, is your son coming with you? Like, does he live down there?
No, he lives up here. But they're getting ready to have another baby, so he won't be coming to this one either.
Well, will I see you more than one night?
No.
Okay.
Because I like to spend my evenings alone.
Yes, I heard you practice a lot when you're alone.
No, hang on now. No, the only night I'm busy is Saturday night when I have the Malibu dinner.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll let you know. We're going to be far more economical this year.
I hope so. I don't want to get charged for other people's drinks again.
I told you I'm going to send you another $20 super chat.
No, I don't want any of your money. It's not your fault.
I told Debbie that. She got mad. She's like, Aaron I did not do that to him because now she feels bad that.
No, it was all Debbie. Debbie didn't do it. She didn't break up the bill. Your friend who brought that chick broke up the bill.
Soloff did it.
Yep.
Aaron Joseph Pantaloon suggests that you tell the hotel that you want a strong shower head.
I don't get it.
Aaron, what hotel do you pick?
I try to get the Hilton because it's right there by the railroad tracks.
Why don't you get the Marriott, which is like
because it's farther. We're all the way at the far end of the convention center, and the Marriott's at the bottom end of it. So I have to walk the entire length of the convention center.
Yeah, it's got a great pool. Everyone's there hanging out. We can hot tub it together.
Wow, you missed that, Aaron.
It's getting more gay as he's saying.
Oh God, yeah. So it's San Diego, dude.
Okay.
It's California, you gotta be gay, or why bother? Sorry, so crass.
Aaron, there's a lot of latecomers. Could we go around and everyone say who they're drawing?
I'm drawing the Vision.
I'm drawing Batman.
I'm drawing Space Chicks, but if someone gives me a character, I will jump in and do a West Coast Avenger. How long do we go for, Aaron?
Oh, between 4 and 4:30, depending on how far I've gotten.
So that would be.
What about his time?
Yeah,
You got about an hour and a half.
an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half.
I might just do another page of roughs. These shows are getting tougher and tougher for me to recover from. I don't know about you guys. When you do, like just
you got to take a couple of days off after the show.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk to anybody yesterday. I talked to Jeff today, JC. I talked to him today, but I didn't want to bother him with all the stuff that's going on with Diamond too, which I'm sure everybody else and their mother is doing. But I just didn't feel like talking to anybody. I'm like, all right, I'll talk on the bros.
Well, it's pretty much nonstop talking when you get there, huh? It's like,
yeah, yep. And then we're all hanging out, having fun at night. So you're talking with your friends you haven't seen for a while, and
that's see, that's the difference between you and me. I just I don't hang out with anybody because I don't have any friends, and then so I never get wore out.
That's an option, yeah.
Do you do commissions at night?
I used to, not anymore. No. I told Debbie, my wife, I'm like, I am not killing myself for these shows anymore. If we're doing all this stuff, crowdfunding, and we're in Diamond Comic, we're in Diamond again, and getting the comic shops, we're going to reach out to Luna, try to talk to other distributors, and get, start working the comic shop angle. I'm just tired of, busting my ass every, convention.
Yeah.
Billy, you lucked out though, didn't you, with this whole Diamond thing, right?
Yes, we did. No, they hooked us up. We had just, the funny thing is we, Debbie we did the Senryaku, that book I did, the hardcover. We did a special edition, exclusive for Diamond with a really nice, I can show you. It's a box set. If I can grab one real quick. It's right here. So we spent a lot of money on this book right here, the Senryaku box set. Whoops. Let me raise this higher. Am I totally disrupting the order of this show?
No.
Sweet.
Okay.
This is why you're on the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Okay. So here. So we had this really nice, beautiful box set, and they're all limited and numbered and stuff. And then you have the books in here. See the certificate of authenticity. This is a metal edition, special metal edition. But the books are so heavy that, and even though this box is gorgeous, I mean, look, I already dinged it up. I smack it. You can damage them, especially the way Diamond ships things. Now, if we were shipping ourselves, that would be one thing. So Debbie couldn't figure out how to. Whoops. How should we ship this to make it so it doesn't get damaged and we get a ton of returns? Well, while we were trying to figure out how to do it, and she did, we just bubble wrapped it and whatever she ended up doing, getting this really stronger outer box and all that for it, is when the bankruptcy thing came into play. And thank goodness that we missed that we didn't ship it until after the bankruptcy was declared, because we wouldn't have gotten paid, or who knows if we would have. And we would have gotten killed. Because this was a pretty big order, for this book, and it's expensive. It's heavy though. And Debbie's like, I'm afraid that this is going to get banged up. Blah blah blah. And I'm arguing with her and stuff, and she turned out to be right. So,
well, hardcovers are such a bear, especially if you not only shipping, but if you take them with you to a show or something.
Yeah.
Oh, the weight.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we ship things. So the cool thing is my buddy Jason Odom, who's old Cap, he's our editor and stuff. He drove to this show and to Heroes Con. So he will be driving to Heroes. So I just gave him all of our stuff for Heroes.
That's smart.
And whatever we have left over, we'll just ship to Diamond. I'm sorry, we'll just ship to San Diego. He'll ship it for us.
Wow, that's nice.
Yep. So, and we have some stuff at San Diego. We have friends and all, and it's a pain in the ass. I was saying, I don't know how much you're in, Aaron, but with us, and thankfully, not thank God, I'm going to miss him. But for the first time in a decade or more, our kids aren't coming with us. And so,
money.
Yeah, the money. We're like, we just can't afford it.
Yeah.
Matthew's off from college, so you need to get a job this summer.
Yeah, right.
And also he's on the wrestling team, so he's got to practice a lot too. He's got lessons and all that stuff.
They just won the national championship. Penn State did.
There you go. So he's got to do that. And William is my oldest. He's coming to Heroes with me. He loves Heroes Con. So he's coming for that because it's been Father's Day weekend, and it's a good show. You got to make that money. It's a good show money wise to bring in revenue, but it also kind of sucks to be away from the family. But you do what you got to do, right, for your family.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how about William coming with me? And he loved it. He was hanging out with Andy and Dennis and Fraga, and we had a great time. Shane last year was hanging out with, and a bunch of people. So
sounds like a lot of trouble to me.
No, he's not a great kid. My kid's a great kid.
No, not
your
your
but now
kid.
he's 20. He's
I meant hanging out with Andy, and that's.
Oh,
I was gonna say, aren't you afraid Andy's gonna corrupt you?
No, no. We went over. Andy and Helen had us over their house.
Oh, okay.
It was great. The Thursday night we got in Thursday, so we all went over there to Andy and Helen's house.
Wow.
And they got some food and wine and moonshine, and he just loved it.
Made it.
That was great. He just loved hanging out with the with the adults, and because he's 23, so and his friends are all God, this poor kid, he needs new friends. I mean, they just don't ever want to go out. They don't ever want to do anything.
Yeah.
They want to sit and play video games all day.
Right.
It's amazing, and he's like, really. So he's coming with me to that. So
Well, good, cool.
But yeah, so Aaron, we hang Saturday night. You have your night with your Malibu fellas.
Yeah.
And then Friday, if you want to do Friday, let's do Friday again. That Mexican place was pretty good.
I want to go back. I want to go back to the Lion's Head or whatever the heck.
Yeah, Lion's Share. All right, so let's do that for Friday night. We'll do Lion's Share for sure.
Okay.
Aaron, doesn't that put like a different spin on it when you call it hanging out with the Malibu fellas?
Fellas.
Hello. Hey, can you find me in the chat, and I'll just grab a copy. I need some good reference for a Kirby spaceship. So I'm kind of doing this. It's just kind of lame. It's not lame, but I'm trying to go.
You putting people to work in the chat?
Why not?
Kirby. No, Jeff. Right. I'll read the description. Here we go.
Could you pick up my laundry?
Yeah. No, well, if he's there, I can just grab it. It says panel 1 in a Wally-Wood type form-fitting type form-fitting spacesuits. Then it says Kit Carter, but there's a strike through it. So Anna and Rand float in outer space outside a large Jack Kirby looking spaceship.
Yeah, I give you permission to use Kit Carter if you want to.
I can't. Well, it's supposed to be in the 60s.
Oh, well, time.
I would love to have used Kit Carter, but Kit Carter's not in the scene. There's a Soviet spaceship.
Chicom.
Chicom. Well, it's not Chicoms. It's the Sovcoms.
So you can drop her in the background somewhere.
Oh, I could do something like this. Kit Carter have a special spaceship?
Yeah.
I know I got the book. I haven't opened it yet. Isn't that?
Oh my God!
I know. I'm not proud of it. I'm really not.
Well, Aaron's on the table.
God won. I love the way it looks. I'm like, all right, I'm going to read it, and then I get into things like I'm doing now. I go off on tangents.
I haven't read anybody's book. I think I read Alien Alamo, maybe the last book I read.
Oh, okay, good then.
They're all just sitting there.
Yep, same.
Well, I read it. It was a lot of
I've
fun.
got a stack.
Aaron, I read it. I loved it.
Thank you.
It was kind of fun. It was kind of adventure, but kind of with hijinks, which was a lot of fun. I loved all the aliens and all the atmospheres that you had put in there. It was just really, really great. Of course,
High adventure with the Malibu fellas.
Boy.
Katie did. Aaron said. Katie says, "Hello, Aaron, Gary, Dan, and David. Can't wait for your art book, Gary. Also, Aaron, be nice today. Tomorrow is her birthday."
Oh. Now, is it rude to ask her how old she is?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she's 20. She's gonna be 28.
Okay.
Oh my God, I remember 28.
Okay, Dan, you just blew it. You don't blurt out her age.
No, she's very happy about that. What I just said. I guarantee it.
Katie says 38. So
See, I was trying
now
to.
it's,
I was
now
trying
it's
to
a
help you out.
mystery.
Katie, hey,
All these numbers been thrown out.
Yeah, I remember 38 too.
yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, Katie was really tired on her other show about a week ago, and she actually said 48. Everyone's like, "No, 48. What? What the hell? You got
And every
kids."
woman in the world hated her for saying that.
Doc Brewski says Tucci hates Kit Carter. Confirmed.
No, I love Kit Carter. I'm trying now. I'm that because Kit Carter actually would have worked, but I'm wondering if I could maybe have them in Kit Carter spacesuits or is Kit Carter's
Yeah.
Kit's her uniform or her space costume.
Yeah.
But Kit Carter doesn't take place in the 1970s.
Well, it doesn't matter though.
Yeah.
It does matter though. He's doing period pieces here, or it's, the idea of the story is he goes through all these different time periods in comics.
Yeah. Skull Nasher says, "How much are we getting paid to do the legwork?"
We're talking
You get an attaboy.
laundry?
You get an attaboy.
Say they want dough.
We should have like a prize to give away a Sears Allstate 1954.
Yeah.
Yep. Can we get it like custom painted with Cyberfrog on it? Would it be cool then?
Oh, that'd be cool then. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
Actually, that baby blue color on that car would be great with Kit Carter.
Yeah, that's right. The Kit Mobile. Oh, I was going to show you guys that picture that guy sent me about this girl they said I should get to do like a cosplay cover or something for me.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's dig it up.
So with all these distractions, you guys actually get work done.
I don't know if I'd go as far to call it work. That's kind of a stretch.
Well, see, that's the thing is we try to sabotage Aaron by giving him chores.
That's right. That's kind of the plan.
And it always works, even though I know it's coming. I can't resist.
Hey, while we're pulling that up now, I know that Dan, you came and hung out with me and John, but have you set up at shows?
Not recently? Really, no. I mean, not for a long, many years. No, I never really have. No.
Okay. And Aaron, how are you like after San Diego? Do you need time to recover and decompress? And
not really. I just hit the ground running, and start working. But
really,
I'm not as busy as you are, though. I haven't been recently. Okay, you guys, there it is.
Oh wow, that's very Barbarella. Yeah.
The Chloe Colleen, I guess, is the. I don't know if that's Instagram, isn't it? Looks like.
You gotta love the bubble helmet.
Yeah, I know. It's like.
Wait, is that a real person or is it AI?
No, that's a real person. I think she's like. I don't know. I haven't been to her site. The guy just sent me this, but I assume she's a cosplayer or something. But I want to know how she did the helmet and is there a hole in the back maybe? Because I'd be pretty claustrophobic putting that. On.
Yeah.
Although, look what she did here with the neck piece. That's actually pretty smart because you can have a much broader opening at the bottom of the bowl and then have that.
Well, she's got to be able to, put it on without mashing her face.
Totally makes sense, though. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But what did she make it out of? Where do you get that? That's the thing I want to know is how she made that.
That's true.
You buy these giant hollow fishbowl type things? I don't know, maybe. Because that can't be glass. It's got to be plastic.
If that was glass, it'd be very heavy.
Yeah,
it just
makes sense.
It's probably vacuum formed.
What does that mean?
You could do a Barbarella type. Well, forget it.
Vacuum forming is like a heated plastic, and you have a shape. Just say if you had a plaster shape, a perfect shape, and you put it in the oven, and you have this vacuum that suctions the plastic around it.
Oh, I see.
Forms that shape.
Oh, cool.
Or it's two punch bowls kind of just put together and.
Well, some of you pervs in the chat, go check out her page and see if she's like a cosplayer or something.
They're suggesting you have her on your Sunday show.
I'm sure Shelley'd be thrilled.
Yep. They're
But,
claiming
I
the chat's
have
claiming it's
thought of-
AI.
I have thought of going Stranko and getting like booth babes for my for San Diego. See if I could bring in the bigger crowd.
There you go. I mean, now since your booth babe doesn't come to cons anymore.
That's
The
right.
original booth babe that
Shelley's given up on the whole booth babe thing, so I have to like hire out now.
somebody called my wife that asked me if they could take a picture with my booth babe. Like in 90 at San Diego, like 94. Like, can I take a picture of the booth babe? And I'm like, hang on, hey, booth babe.
Yeah.
So, you thought he was talking about you.
Yeah.
Was she flattered or complimented?
No, she goes, sure. Because I thought she was gonna get mad. I thought,
Yeah.
It didn't work out. Like
then she's like $5. She charged him $5.
Oh yeah, that was. She apologized to Shane. She's like, I wasn't being a bitch. I swear, I just didn't know it was you. I'm like, why is my husband interrupting my lunch and asking me to give him $5 that this guy is forcing him to take a picture?
Well, did you just see the video where Shane was in as mange? He went up to John Romita Jr. and he knows John Romita pretty well apparently, and I don't think John recognized him. He just and Shane didn't tell him that he was Shane.
So good.
It's pretty funny.
David does that all the time.
That's true. He puts on a Spider-Man costume and.
Man, those days are long behind me.
Oh, finally. Hold on a second.
Your cowbell sucks, Gary.
Sucks.
You gotta do something about your microphone.
It's a cowbell.
No. You had like a condenser mic or something on your computer that whenever it gets that sharp noise, it cuts it off.
Yeah, we don't even hear it. We hear like one tiny.
So like
thing.
back away from the computer a little bit and try it again.
Let me try it again.
No, it did it the first one, and then
we hear the first like ding, and that's it.
I haven't figured out how to adjust that.
Stealth for $2 says Apple. Is that what is that? It's not a mango. It's is that a papaya? Maybe, I don't know. Pretzel, pancakes.
Could be a strawberry, right?
That's not a strawberry.
No,
Waffle with
it's not.
cheese, fries. What is that? Between the fries and the ice cream. I can't tell. And a cup of coffee to kind of finish it all off. So
I can't tell.
Katie, of course, simping for Gary. Be nice to Gary.
Yes, of course.
Stoner munchies is what carbon dioxide is. He's calling stealth a stoner. That's just terrible.
What am I giving up on?
Oh, being a booth babe.
Vision has done that.
Oh no,
The booth babe days are way behind me. Once all the people got Vision, it was done.
No.
Come on.
We all heard about some black dress that you were a big hit.
Which one?
No, I told him that when we were engaged and what's this? We went to that the awards banquet dinner, and Sergio Aragones was there, and he was like, "He's Shelly."
Yeah, it was like he would say he would meet people several times, like and they wouldn't remember him, and then
it was especially me. You remember
like, Shelly?
Yeah.
Those were, I think, pre-baby days.
Yep. John with no H for $5. Thanks, John. He says, Gary did cowbell wrong. You're hitting the stick against the bell instead of the ball.
You can't hit a cowbell wrong. It's a cowbell. But you can hit it different ways to get different tones. If you hold the bell, it's muted. If you hold the end of it, you get more of a bell sound.
Yeah, look at that. Gary knows what he's. Don't mess with Gary. He knows his stuff. Randy Howell posted a link to this Chloe girl's page. It says, for you pervs, Chloe Colleen. And there it is, the Instagram link. So guys, go check that out. See
Well, if he qualified it with the word pervs, then we can't show this on Graybeards.
Well, I think he's just being. Of course, I don't know. I haven't been to her page. I have no idea. And then John for $2 again says, apparently you can hit it wrong.
All right, I stand corrected.
Let's see. He's a monster. Says, I'm a cougar hunter. I'm like what I am seeing. Man, what is with you guys in English? Is this show just like I'm a cougar hunter? I'm like what I am seeing.
It's a cell phone. I'm trying to type on a cell phone.
He meant to say I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, but why is he question mark though?
And what does a cougar hunting have to do with it?
Yeah, who's he referring to? Cougars are like middle-aged women, right? That go after young guys.
Yes.
He's talking about Shelley.
I see.
Okay. You're on a slippery slope there, pal.
Shelley's probably, hey, I still got it.
Oh.
Aaron's just laughing.
So would that be a Valentine, Dan, for your wife? You may still be a cougar, but you still got it.
Yeah, Dan.
Oh, by the way, guys, I do my tutorials on how to, draw and stuff. But I also, so I give advice that way. But I also give advice, with relationships and stuff like that. And I got, but it's more like a what not to do kind of thing. So the other one I found this out there. This is what you do not do this. Okay, when your wife's talking away and or your girlfriend or whatever. Don't do the hand puppet movement like this when she's talking. Like
we know that. We know that.
Okay. You just learned that. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
You just learned that?
Well, yes. This is really, really bad. If she's just going on and you start doing this, and then here's the thing: is the more you do it, the more frustrated she gets, and so just
really.
So don't even ever do that ever. That's just my advice to you. I field test these things so you don't have to.
Well, we appreciate it.
And I learned that from James Woods when I watched Casino.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so definitely just to sum up, no hand puppet talking when the girl's talking.
That's not a new thing, Dan. That's another thing.
Well, it's new to Dan.
It's new to Dan.
Didn't go over well.
Update. I was having problems shipping that Frankenstein poster, but I finally got mailing tubes, and I think Aaron, you should have gotten yours.
I did get it. It turned out very, very well. Actually, I'm quite happy to get it. Actually, it wasn't really a mailing. It was like more of a triangle thing.
Right. It's a triangle tube, and that's the official.
Very glossy paper. Very glossy.
Yeah, I asked for matte, and that's what they gave me. They gave me glossy.
Well, one of 6, signed by Gary. How about that?
You got the first one.
Oh.
When I ordered those tube things from the post office, I ordered it through stamps.com.
Yeah.
You get, free supplies. And they gave me a choice, of like how many I wanted. And I thought, well, I'm going to have 6 posters made. I might as well order 6 tubes.
It makes sense.
And sure. I typed in 6, and like a week and a half later, it wasn't 6 individual tubes. It was 6 packages of 25 each. So they sent me 150 of these things. I heard some rustling out on my porch, and I was like, what's this? And I go out there, and there's a stack like 4 feet high of these freaking mailing tubes. Now I'm going to have to figure out like some kind of campaign to sell posters just so I can use the mailing tubes.
Well, now these are free though, right? Because they're from the post office, right?
Right. They're free.
Yeah, the the poster tubes I get, I have to pay for. Just saying.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to.
Well, it's a good thing. Can you imagine if you?
I know. So yeah, if you're ordering those posters, they're not individual. They're in packs of 25.
So if you get any original art from Gary, you may have to do some unwinding there, kind of for a while, right?
Yeah, because I get the tubes from Uline, which, the price is okay. Shipping on them, they just destroy you on shipping.
Yeah.
Who's near a racetrack?
That's David. All strange noises come from David. You guys you should know that by now.
I wasn't a racetrack. I farted.
Oh, well, it's still strange noise. So
It was a skid mark then.
Yeah. Yes.
Randy Howell says Gary hears some rustling on his porch, and then he bursts out the door with his trusty shotgun. Randy, you don't know how close and accurate that statement is.
you don't.
Speaking of, hold on a second. Aaron, could you?
Yeah, sure. I got nothing else to do. What do you need?
Billy, we'll see how much of a dork I am when I share this.
What, a ring camera thing?
Could you share that?
Oh, is that your paintball?
Well, we were talking about, paintball last week. Here's a photo of me with my daughter and her husband several years ago.
Wait a minute. Slow down. Hang on a second. That's your daughter with the curly hair?
Yeah.
How old is she?
Well, this was several years ago, so she's in her 30s now.
Oh my god.
She was in her 20s when I took this picture.
Wow.
So you got a whole family of nerds, basically, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Paintball isn't nerdy. It's fun, man.
Well, my son used to play paintball. They would go out and just blow people up. So I guess it's all right. What are those?
We'd go out if we were on different teams. I would, like my daughter was on the opposite team. I would put a bounty on her head and tell my teammates, because they're mostly, young lads. And I'd say, anybody that shoots my daughter gets $5.
Look at you,
man. She wouldn't make it 5 minutes.
Everybody wants that $5, man.
They'd go out, they sound the buzzer and they'd all go after her.
Is she pissed at you? That you
she was mad. She was mad.
See, Gary doesn't care. It's all about the joke. He doesn't care about who he crushes in the process. As long as he gets a good laugh out of it.
Holy smokes.
Yep. And then, after the game's over, first thing they ask is, "Oh, you're going to put another bounty on her head?" It's like, yeah, I guess so. So it just became a thing.
So did she know this or did they sell you down?
No, she didn't know it right away. No, yes, she did. I announced it while we were walking out onto the field. I announced it, and so she heard.
So it's like
so she knew she was
over the intercom.
Attention.
Even people that weren't in your group were aiming for it. $5.
Yeah, the referees were shooting at her.
Oh man, that's good quality stuff right there.
They're sorry, darling. This economy sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my snakes on the way home.
Well, so like if you get hit and killed, are you out for the entire game, or can you like start
No,
over?
well, it depends on the game. Sometimes you can recycle, where you have to go back to the base and then you can come back in.
Well, was she out, or did she get to go back in?
Sometimes she was out, and sometimes she came back
Dude,
in. But like I
drive
say, she
all the way
would.
out there and she gets killed in 5 seconds.
Yeah, she would. No, yeah, she has to leave the field and then come back in, and again she wouldn't last 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh!
There she is. Get her.
I kind of don't blame you though, because if she survived and you did, and you didn't, you'd never hear the end of it, right?
Oh well, yeah. I rarely got shot.
Gary, Gary takes this seriously, man.
Yeah, Queen Mickey's asking if they. Yeah, we use paint grenades. And it wasn't a league; it was just like a bunch of people getting together.
Wait a minute, there's a league, like a bowling league?
No, I mean they have those. That's not what I was doing.
But they do have them. Is what I'm getting at here.
I was not part of one of those. We just had like people that we knew and family, and we just like a pickup game. But there was a lot of people, so we had a referee and rules and that kind of thing.
Okay, now here's the better question: Did her husband engage in the bounty? Was he going?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh!
Are you kidding?
People on her own team were trying to kill her.
No, I mean that's something like on the in between games that I could hear them arguing about.
So Gary causing discord in his daughter's marriage, all for the sake of a laugh.
Like, how are you shooting at me? Like, you're on my team. I'm like, well, I wanted the $5. So her own teammates were shooting at her.
Wow. Well, there it is.
That's why you can't have women in combat, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's the bounties.
Scarlet Witch is a West Coast Avenger?
Yeah.
Yes.
She is.
Okay. I'll try to draw her. How much more time do we have?
You got plenty of time.
I bought this on Amazon. This pen that looked interesting. A chisel pen.
Have you tried it yet?
No. Parallel with a chisel point. It's a parallel pen.
Okay.
Have you guys ever used it?
No. I've used pens like that before for like different
Is it just
effects.
a calligraphy pen? Is that really what it is?
Yeah.
Probably.
I've got a Zig calligraphy pen. I use those a lot too. So
It looks like fun. I want to loosen up,
you do need to loosen up, man. You're way too uptight.
Way too uptight. Well, it's all about,
Marcus says, Billy, I DM'd you Kirby spaceships.
Thank you, Marcus.
And Rick says, $5 is $5. That was an expensive afternoon for me, by the way.
Well, you only one person. You have to pay only one person, right? I mean,
no, it's every game.
Okay.
So, oh my gosh. So she just kept getting wiped out every game.
Yep.
What a. I mean, I have a daughter, and I can kind of almost sympathize with your point of view because I know the joy that would bring me, but I also know the wrath that would come down on me.
Well, no, absolutely, no, yeah. I mean, if you knew my daughter, like her aggressive sense of humor is way worse than mine.
Okay, well then you're just paying her back, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and she's probably throughout my life a bigger prank target than even you, Aaron.
No. Well, I got to say this. I don't know that I would if I was her husband. If it was me and Shelly, there's no way I would open fire on Shelly because that would be it for me. No way.
Well, full disclosure, they're not together anymore.
See what you did?
I knew you were going to use that one incident.
Oh my!
She's
God.
the one. You remember the story that I told when she was like 6 years old. I told her that she has an uncle that was my twin brother that she's never met. And then later on in the afternoon, like I disguised myself and then knocked on my phone.
No way.
Introduced myself as the long lost uncle.
Absolutely the
You gotta be
worst.
kidding me.
How old was she when you did
He
this?
was like 6. I said 6th grade. No, she was like around 6 years old.
What a monster.
Yeah, and I told her, yeah, you have an Uncle Melvin who lives in Australia, and you've never met him. You know, I mean, she's been around for like 6 years, and I've never spoken of Melvin. And so I was explaining, like, he's the black sheep of the family, lives in Australia, and you know, he's kind of weird, and he just may pop up one day, and so if he does, you'll know, who it is. And so she didn't believe me, but the very next day I slicked my hair back, put on a bow tie, and I had some nerd glasses with the tape in the middle, and went out the back of the house and then came around. I told her I was going to the store. Snuck out with my disguise, knocked on the front door, and she looked through the front window, and saw me, and she was like scared because I could tell by the expression on her face, she recognized me, and she was terrified at the same time. And she wouldn't open the door. And I would say, "Hi, you must be Caitlin. I'm your Uncle Melvin. I'm coming from Australia."
Oh my gosh.
I did the whole thing, and I said, "Oh, I can't stay. I tell your dad I was here," and then I left. And then walked down the street, got my car, changed my clothes back, drive home. Walked up to. As I'm walking up to the front door, she flings the door open. "Dad, you won't believe it. Uncle Melvin was here."
My gosh.
That was
she
probably
bought it, huh?
my best prank.
Well, was this when you were living over
in Portland?
Yeah. Trying to think of what that area actually is called over on Barbara Boulevard. Right?
Noma, yeah. Yeah, that was at Noma House.
Are you guys all drawing flat?
No.
Like your table flat?
No. I'm on a tilted my camera's on a tilted angle too, so it looks flat, but
Oh, Billy, you'll appreciate this. My brother Chris, who she knew, would visit us, from time to time. And the next time he came over, she asked him, "Uncle Chris, do you and my dad have a brother named Melvin?" And I had told Chris about Melvin.
Right.
So he was
ready. Here we go.
He was ready. And he said, "Oh yeah, Melvin. Yeah, he's just kind of a strange guy. He used to have sideburns, and so we called him Melvis."
nice.
Oh my gosh. Well, life in Gary's house growing up.
So how long did she know this or go with? How long did you keep that going?
I have yet to admit.
But
so if she's listening right now.
Yeah, she brings it up every once in a while. It's like
she doesn't believe it now, though, right?
No. She soon after she figured it out, but I've yet to admit it.
Yeah, beyond their deathbed. I know.
Yeah, I should bring her on the show, and so you could ask her about Uncle Melvin. She will go off.
Oh my gosh.
Say, whatever you do, don't open the door. to Uncle Melvin after I
That's
die.
right. That's right. Don't open the door to Uncle Melvin.
Melvin's in jail now.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I told this story before.
On this show?
Gen X Catholic says there's still an active warrant for Uncle Melvin for luring a child.
Oh, Uncle Melvin.
Mike TV Dub says Machiavelli would be proud of Gary's deceitfulness.
Oh, my
Oh, excellent, Marcus. Thank you. That's cool.
I'm having a time with this Envision. It's like I keep seeing Buscema in my head. It's like this isn't as good as Buscema.
And you're right.
I know. I mean, I don't need you to tell me that.
Who created Vision? Is that a Kirby creation?
Yep. No, Buscema.
Buscema, yeah.
At least the modern version. There was a Golden Age version.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the Avengers 57, excuse me, which I have in near mint.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. And it's slab too. So 9.2, very nice.
And what year is that made?
Yeah, it was 68, I think.
Wow, that's impressive.
Aaron, how many books do you have slabbed and graded?
Probably 50 out of 1,500 in my collection.
So how do you remember the grade? I mean, you just brought up this one title at random and you told us the grade.
Well, he's a nerd, Gary.
It's only like 50 books. I mean, it's
only 50 books.
He's like a Rain Man, you know. Kinda.
I'm like Rain Man, like Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
How did your wife feel when you told her about your comic collection? That, like, were you already a comic book artist when you guys met?
I was working in commercial art, trying to break in to comics. She told me, she said the first thing she thought of was, what is this guy, 12?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't show me your collection right away.
No, but
I'm sure you know him for a good while.
Yeah.
No, I think she actually said that in response to the fact that I wanted to be a comic book artist.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, what is this guy, 12? And then when I started making the big money, she was, oh, wait.
So she's still waiting for that?
Yeah, she's still waiting for
She's still saying, what are you, 12?
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron, you might
changed.
want to read Skull Nasher's comment.
Oh, brother. Okay, I'm. See, you mean Skull Nasher or Sequential Artist?
Well, Skull Nasher first.
Okay, sorry, Sequential. Hang on. No, for crying out loud, where is it? There is no Skull Nasher that paid.
No, I didn't say it was a super chat.
Well, I'm reading paid stuff.
Okay, all right.
Sequential Artist for 5 says Gary has such savage creativity in pulling pranks. There's a core of an awesome comic story that are waiting to be written. Now, I thought he was gonna level you, Gary, by saying you have savage creativity in pulling pranks. Why can't you put some of that towards your artwork? That's what I would have said.
Damn.
Wow.
Wait a minute here now. Who am I supposed to read now?
Skull Nasher right above that.
Slab comics are gay. Wow. That does not fly on this show. Let's see. Here we go. Yep. That
Queen Mickey says Aaron can remember Comic Slabs ratings, but he can't remember to send me my letter.
Oh, Queen Mickey, I remember. I'm just not sending
He
it.
just chooses not to do it.
See, what I tried to tell Mickey was that you have to order on the campaign to get the letter, and she didn't do that. So
She has blocked that part of the narrative out. So
well, you know what though, Gary?
on next week's show, she's going to be asking for that letter again.
I know. Well, you know what? She did send us money.
That's true.
And so I guess I should send her the letter.
Except, has any of us gotten any piece of that pie yet?
Hey now, just relax.
Are you going to include it with the monthly thing?
Well, I was. Now I'm not going to.
Oh.
You know, be like
You
that.
can, Aaron. Let me back up. Aaron, you can send it anytime you feel like it. So yeah, let me not disturb you on that awesome drawing you're working on.
Yeah, thank you. Now we're getting something.
And now Katie did's wanting a letter.
So wait a minute, Katie, you probably ordered a book, didn't you? I don't know if she did or not, because I don't remember an address going to Katie did, but I'm guessing that's probably not her.
And Glitch is saying, I used Aaron's letter as a bookmark.
Well, you know, at least he used it. It has a nice little signature on it and everything. They're really kind of pleasant.
I gotta say, I don't understand the slab thing. I mean, you can't open them and look at them, right? So you can't read them.
No.
Okay, but here's what you need to understand. Okay, this is where people just don't.
Okay, Aaron, before you finish that thought, David, could you translate what Aaron is about to say when he finishes?
I don't know what you said.
Look, all I'm saying is, if you spend a lot of money on a book, you want to make sure that the grade is correct because there's a value attached to that book. And if I ever need to resell it, you know, say I hit hard times like now, for example, you know, we have a few days where we don't get enough super chats and then things go wrong in the household and you got to start selling stuff. I'm not suggesting that today's show is like that, but you know, it could be.
Yeah.
And so if I go to sell a book and I say, oh, this is a 9.2, but it's not slabbed, then someone's going to go, oh no, it's an 8.5. And then suddenly I'm losing money. So if it's slabbed, then I know. Now, as far as reading the book, I've read most of these when I was a kid, but there's these things called essentials that are collected editions of these stories you can read anytime you want to.
Right.
Without destroying the value of the comic. Doesn't that make sense?
David, could you translate that, please?
What was that? I wasn't here.
He left as soon as you started talking. He left the room.
Yeah, well, just saying that.
He's pontificating.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, my entire run of Silver Surfer, right, for example, they're all pretty much, except for a couple issues, are near mint, but none of them are slabbed. So, you know, but I'm still not going to read them because I don't want to damage them. They're valuable. They are valuable.
Carbon dioxide says slabs are capitalist scum.
Well, what are you, a commie? Sounds like commie talk to me. I buy plenty of books that aren't slabbed. It's not super expensive ones.
Well, the old days, like you buy something off the stands, you buy two.
Yeah. I used to do, if I thought it was worth something, like when the Spectacular Spider-Man #1 came out, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, it was like the first new Spider-Man title.
Yeah.
I think it worth a fortune. And of course it wasn't, but I bought like 4 copies off the newsstand.
Okay. I never bought more than one. I mean, more than 2. Like Howard the Duck #1, I bought 2.
Yeah, well, that didn't even come out around here.
Really?
Yeah, it had low distribution.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's. I remember when number 2 came out. Number 1 was already worth $5.
Yep.
And wasn't that like 25-cent days cover price?
Yeah, it was 25 cents. It was 1975, I think, when that came out.
So like the next month, or wasn't Howard bi-monthly? Because Bruner was doing it.
Well, he only did the first 2 issues and then he was done.
Right.
So, okay, now look at this. Okay, see, here's some proof. Look at this. Kirby, look at that bullseye. I'm going to go big here for a second. You guys are distracting me, but that's okay.
That's okay. We're talking about Aaron's slabbed books.
This is non-slab. Look, this is Golden
Oh,
Age,
it's not
baby.
slabbed. It's not slabbed. Okay.
Yeah, Golden Age, Bullseye number 1. Look at that Kirby cover. Isn't that cool?
That is very cool.
Okay, now check
Where do you
this
put
out.
all these books, man? And does they take up a whole room?
Closet. Okay, now check this out. You know what this is? This is the famous comic book baseball game that Jack Davis drew.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Where
What happened in the famous baseball game? What happened?
Well, they one guy on an opposing baseball team killed the other team's star, so they got revenge by killing the guy who killed their friend. And they played a baseball game at midnight, and they used his head as the ball, his intestines were the baselines, his organs were the bases and stuff.
Oh my God!
So it's pretty gross, but it was very funny and a very
It sounds like my Little League.
This was used.
So funny, murder.
This was used in Seduction of the Innocent.
Yeah,
And
we use his intestines as the baseline with hilarious consequences.
look at this baby, the origin of the old witch.
Oh, that's so Wrightson.
Is that's Graham Ingalls right there?
Yeah.
Right? It was his major influence.
Yeah.
So there you go. So look at there's books that I do not have slapped.
Okay, so there's how Aaron put it. There's proof.
There it is. Proof in the pudding, man.
So when you got a girl coming over your first showing your collection, do you have to is it sort of like coming out of the closet because they're all in the closet?
Well.
What happened there?
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, whatever it was, that was pretty cool.
Wow.
That was Fembot and Aaron.
I never in high school showed any girl my comic collection. That was I knew that was the kiss of death.
But yet you showed the woman you married it. And
Well,
what was
Aaron,
that like?
Aaron, you're frozen.
I know.
If she can handle this, she can handle anything.
That's true. That's the true test.
Finally, she goes through all the trials, and then finally, the last trial is the comic collection.
Well, here's the thing. But at the time when I met Shelly, I was like 27 or 28. It's like if she can't handle it now, because I'm not one of those guys that would I'll marry you if you sell your comic collection. I'd say later.
Wrong answer.
Wrong answer. So yeah. So
Excuse me, that's a deal breaker.
yeah.
I have to stop you right there.
For me, it wasn't showing girls my comic collection. It was the test was showing them my Johnny West action figures by Marx.
That's pretty cool.
Do you guys ever have a Captain Action?
Yep.
My brother had one, and I was very jealous because I wanted it. It's because I was a superhero kid, even little, and it was like, why does my brother have Captain Action and I don't?
Yeah, Wally Wood drew the comic book.
I know. Gil Kane worked on that too.
Did they do a remake, a sort of modern remake of it? I don't know, 20 years ago or something.
No, I think
Captain Action.
J.C. Vaughn just did something with him
Yeah.
with Captain Action.
I think
he just
it's
did
Al
something with Captain Action.
Capone, Captain Action. He did a crossover, Al Capone and Captain Action.
It just sounds wrong that you did something like that. You did something with Captain
Al
Action.
Capone Vampire versus Captain Action. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
John Beatty's asking, you guys play with dolls? John, they're not dolls. They're action figures.
Yeah, exactly, John. I'm going to say the same thing I say every week when John shows up. John, if you're going to talk trash, come on the show and do it. Don't hide out in the chat, man.
Glitch says, Gary was showing people his Johnny?
Oh, my.
Hardy har har.
Yeah, that's see, when you post really bad jokes like that, it makes me stop drawing, and then I got to go over here and do this.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, he's saying no, they're dolls. So I guess there's a disagreement here.
John Beatty's just like lobbing grenades over the fence, you know.
Well, yeah. John, what kind of pathetic, unfun, cooped up childhood did you have that you didn't play with G.I. Joes or Johnny West or, you know, action figures?
It's really a sad state, I think. I think you should come on the show and tell us all about it.
Yeah. Save your answer. Save your answer for when you're on the show.
We could be his therapist, and he could sit on the couch, tell us about it.
Yeah.
Past Master Dan says, okay, before Past Master, John replied. John says, I had girls, Gary. Girls. All right.
That explains it, yeah.
Well, checkmate, John. Checkmate.
Yeah, they can't exactly argue with that, can you?
Yeah, exactly. Past Master Dan says, I see Abraham Lopresti shaped finally.
What?
Why did you shave, Aaron?
Oh, because I was trimming my beard and I did not take Katie Did's advice and go get it professionally done. And as a result, I screwed it up and then I had to.
So you didn't have the symmetry, right? You did a little on one side and the other side, and then a little more.
Basically, a big gap in there, and I was like, I can't do that. So, yeah, there is some beard left. It's just very, very light.
Interesting.
So it'll be back in a few days. You'll never know it was gone.
That's true. Aaron is, yeah. Victor says, next Graybeards, do something that wasn't popular 50 years ago.
Oh, my gosh. See, this is the kind of thing that slows the show down, is this kind of commentary.
Swine.
Did you isolate the just interesting? Yeah.
No, I haven't done that. That requires
work. Was more appropriate.
It requires work, Dan. That's something that I have a real big aversion to.
Katie says, this is why God created hairdressers, to help people like Aaron.
I know. I can't even be mad about that because she's right. I should not have. I should not have done it. I should not have taken matters into my own hands with my $15 pair of shears, where $1,000 worth of shears.
To put things in perspective, guys know that it's just hair; it will grow back.
Well, yes. That's what I tell my wife, or my daughter. I don't like my haircut. I'm going, well, you know what? In a couple months, it'll be right back to where it was. So don't worry about it.
Aaron, Katie says, in all caps, say that again, Aaron. I couldn't hear you.
I can't remember what I just said. Wait a minute. John Beatty says, Aaron, get a Brio. They work great as long as you can use it. What does that mean?
Is that a trimmer?
I guess. Oh my gosh. Look at Beatty. Did Aaron gap his head too? Oh my God. Oh my freaking gosh. Are you kidding me? Yeah, well.
Oh, I put my head down. Was that the cannonball?
No, that was
Yeah.
the giant from the Princess Bride bonking the albino on the head.
Yeah, John says that it's the best beard trimmer.
Mm. All right. What Katie did? Look, she's a liar, bull. I don't even know the absolute disrespect I'm treated with on this show when I slave an entire week to put this thing together to entertain you folks, and this is what I get. Stealth for $1. Thank you, Stealth. Thank you.
Yeah, that's how you turn things around for Aaron.
Yeah.
Just send him money.
That's right. If you're going to insult me, at least send $1 with it.
Now let's play. Let's have a contest
Katie.
for the
She's
chat.
Katie's yelling at me. You remember, you ain't that old, Aaron. Oh, remember
Let's
what I
have a
said?
contest in the chat. See who can name how many things were wrong with Aaron's statement where he said, "I slaved all week putting this show together."
Oh my gosh, this drawing I just did sucks. Oh my,
Man, I can't draw either. Sheesh.
I'm having a
What
day,
happened?
man.
I think it's Billy.
I maybe
Could be.
I was feeling good until Katie started yelling at me.
Billy just made me nervous. That's all.
That was a little
That
better.
was a little better.
I was hitting it very softly.
Geek Avenger for 5 says, "Hail, Graybeards. I hope Trump keeps doubling tariffs on China until they give Tibet back. MAGA." Where did Geek? Where
Does
did that come
Tibet
from?
enter into it at all? Is Tibet part of the negotiation? I don't think it is.
No.
Corinne Kaiser Stone. Let's draw Robert Kirkman characters next showdown. I'm sorry I cursed. I'll take my answer off the air. Okay. We'll. I'm not guaranteeing Kirkman characters next week, but we'll bring you back on. Whatever David's picking. So David's the guy you
If
got.
Kirkman characters are in there, will you come on the show?
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming on the show regardless.
Next week?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You hear that, Corinne? You're coming on next week. Okay, Katie. Oh, whatever, Aaron. Don't you start now. What is she even? She's just yelling at me. This is like,
Yeah, she's
she's
yelling
like
at you.
a crazy woman on the porch.
Well,
in
Aaron,
the neighborhood yelling at me. I'm like,
You don't tell me, Aaron, you can't tell me that you're not used to women yelling at you.
Oh, okay, there's probably some truth in that, but I'm just saying that I think Katie's lost it. I think she was cleaning her shears and got like an electric shock, and it's just like she's screaming at me. I don't even know what I did.
I know I get along with 5.
Well,
so
that's
maybe
the
it's
only
you.
way she could get an electric shock is by cleaning her shears. Otherwise, she doesn't touch electrical devices at all.
Oh well, I'm just saying. I know what I know, Gary. That's
Okay.
How in the world can I be a professional artist and draw this poorly? I just don't know. House of R knock for 20. Thank you, sir.
Wow.
He goes, I don't have any insults, but here's about $2.
Well, I think a knock is that's the denomination.
Oh, I
don't
guess
know what that
okay.
is. What is that?
So he toyed with my financial emotions, and I've been crushed. Here's about $2. Okay. Well, all right, that's fine. I mean, I'll take your money with or without insults.
What does NOK stand for?
I don't know. I don't know. Someone must know. He probably knows.
He's a Munster says, man, that's like 16 rubles. House of R says Norwegian crowns.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds
This
impressive.
show is global?
Norwegian crowns, but it's only $2.
Well, But Dan makes a good point. It's an international show, and so it's just kind of cool to get foreign currency in the
a Norwegian crown.
Even if it's not worth anything, we still appreciate it.
They like us. People of the world like us.
They love us.
Coran says, if Kirkman is in, I'm in.
Oh,
that sounded weird, by the way.
Dude, look, it's like suddenly people are making demands on us now. Oh, you want me to come on your show? Well, you do this, this, and this. Well, how about if I say you're coming on the show and we'll do whatever David picks? So.
Yeah, that's true. It's David's turn. So you have to, Corinne, you have to convince David.
This is a tough room.
How many Kirkman characters are there, really?
Hundreds.
What are you talking about? There's like that superhero guy, and then there's like Walking Dead.
Well, how many are in the Walking Dead cast? Hundreds.
Okay. Well, I guess, if you look at it that way, I suppose. Well, maybe David will put that as one of the choices, and we'll let the people decide.
I think if Coran is drawing what he wants, you guys don't stand a chance.
We have trouble regardless of what he's drawing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We're not standing a chance right now. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. We forgot. The Captain Bipto says zombies.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so, yeah. See, Aaron?
Now that's right up my alley.
Yep. Yeah, Aaron is the zombie guy. And he draws zombies pretty well, too.
Well, I can tell you this, I don't draw the vision very well.
Follow Low Life is reminding everyone there's hundreds of characters in Invincible.
Oh, yeah, there's that guy with the mustache, right? What's his name? Dad or something? What's that character's name?
Sherman.
No, what's his name? You know, don't you, David?
Ralph.
No.
Oh, Biff.
So Aaron, if you ever come back as a zombie, will you be like, I'm so good at this because I've drawn it a bunch of times.
Well, I
He
have.
knows what. He knows what sounds
I'm
to
gonna make
make.
the best zombie.
He knows what sounds to make as a zombie.
Yeah, and also
Queen
best
Mickey.
poses, because you gotta strike a pose like like Madonna with the zombie thing. You gotta do the best.
Well, you
pose.
don't really have control over your limbs when you're a zombie.
No, you do. They got some control, but they some are better than others. There's zombies who don't know how to the zombie very well.
I would just go with the the Wrightson sort of zombie approach. With the knock knee.
Kind of got to
right. Knock knee, yeah.
Slump your shoulders a little bit.
Queen Mickey says, I'll come on and host the next auction. However, I do require 20% of each sale. # Queen's Tariff.
See, Mickey pretends she's a friend of the show, and then she pulls these shenanigans. Like tries to get what little money we have.
What, you expect her to work for free?
Yes.
Well, Dan, you're the one suggesting we have a female.
I know. I didn't suggest not paying her.
That's true. You didn't include that part.
Well, I'm suggesting not paying her.
Of course you are.
I'm adamant about it. I'm not just suggesting it. Oh, woo! Sequential artist for 20. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your efforts to entertain us, Aaron, and the Graybeards. And I was waiting for him to go, but can you try harder or something? Aaron and the Graybeards.
He just said your efforts. He didn't say you were actually doing it.
That's true. He goes, I appreciate your effort
to
entertain us, Aaron, and the Graybeards. See that, Katie? You notice how he said Aaron and the Graybeards? See, that's how it needs to be stated. And I'm still hopeful to collaborate with artists at your level to produce the greatest comic book ever. Oh, and please read my Vision super chat from earlier. See, that's one of my greatest techniques, Gary, is to skip people's super chats so they have to pay me again to get them to read it. It's all part of the plan.
I missed it.
There it is. Yeah, really, it's Gary's fault.
Yep.
Gary, this is Gary's job.
It's my fault.
He says, I can definitely feel Aaron's pain drawing vision. He has this intangible quality. Oh my gosh. The only saving grace with that horrible joke is the fact that you gave us $5 with it.
I was just going to ask you, was that joke worth $5? I don't know.
It wasn't.
Are you crazy? Is that your problem?
Let's see. There we go. Okay.
Well, it's Cold After, though. Once he gets rolling, he could be good for 4 or 5 more of these.
I know. Just keep the bad jokes coming. Aaron and the Graybeards sounds like a rock band. Geek, you guys should have Rini on again since she made the effort by having fake facial hair in the spirit of Graybeards. We've had her on twice. I don't think this is like the Academy Awards. If someone actually comes on the show 3 times, it's like super special. So we gotta save that.
Yeah, but to her credit, she wore that cardboard beard the entire show.
She did, and she kicked our butts too, which really pissed me off.
Oh, that's no good.
No.
Okay. Can't be beat by a woman.
Glitch for £2. Money. Thank you. Short and to the point. I love that. Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, we got about 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm toast then. I can't draw today.
Well, you got it. Mine. It doesn't suck as bad as mine. I can tell you that.
I bet it does.
Well, we'll find out. I know your mic sucks, but
well, I'm drawing a hot chick, and I could pretty much draw that with my eyes closed.
well, see, I didn't want to say anything, but I mean, some of us are challenging ourselves, but that's fine, Dan. You do you.
In fact, I think I'll try that. I'll try drawing with my eyes closed. It would be interesting, right?
And I'll still kick your ass.
Billy, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't die,
Well, I hadn't heard from him for a while, so I was getting a little worried.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out this
He's in the
panel here.
zone. He's in the zone, man.
He's in his
Aaron,
Page.
Yes. Yes, Gary. Yes.
the chat's asking for the beef. Do we have time for that?
Oh, we got time. Let's see, Gary. That's also, you're supposed to remind me of this stuff. I'm cutting your dude.
I forget until the chat mentions it.
I am cutting your salary like in half
Okay.
because you're not doing your job.
Oh,
All right, here we go. Hang on a second here. There it is. It's time for What's Gary's Beef?
What's Gary's beef? So my beef this week is the people who use the pen grip to hold a ping pong paddle.
Why? I've done that before.
When I was like around college age, I used to organize like tournaments.
Did you put bounties on the other players? Just curious.
No, but
Okay.
I would always win the tournament that I organized.
Well,
like remember those hockey board games where you had like slide the players up and down?
right. Yeah.
I would like beat my brother 14-2, that kind of thing, because I had some special techniques that I developed. And so we had a hockey tournament with a bunch of guys had these games, and I won that. And then we had a Twister tournament one time that I organized.
Were there any girls?
It was co-ed.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, wait. Yeah,
It
yeah.
was co-ed. And
Okay.
I developed this technique that, like, if you call a color, you don't put your hand down on the color that's next to you. You put your hand down on the color that's far away, but you make sure you're underneath the person that's also reaching for the color. So then they're literally draped on top of you, and all you have to do is like arch your back, and then they'll fall over.
Yeah, see, my roommates and I used to do that in fabric school all the time when we played Twister. It was,
Yeah, but
So you know what I'm talking about.
Wait, these are female roommates?
no, there was no my roommates. It was the guys.
Oh well, we used to play with girls,
Well,
Billy.
we had bathing suits. You know, we wasn't gay or nothing, but we were twister with the guys. You know,
we in bathing suits.
And
or
oil.
underwear. Some of the guys didn't have underwear. You know, because you want to be able to really feel.
And sometimes you need to slip past someone with some baby oil, right?
Sometimes.
This is like ancient Greece wrestling where you.
Well, that's what we would do.
where
That's how
you
it ended
oil
up.
yourself up and.
Yeah.
Oh,
At
gosh.
first, it started off with just like just with no lotion or any oil, but you want the guys, as Gary said, to slip off. So the oil came out, and then then I don't know if you guys remember, Drakkar Noir had a baby oil, and that was a big one with the guys.
Oh my gosh! All right, Gary, please,
No, Billy, I have no idea what you're talking about.
please help me.
Let's talk about West Coast Adventures.
Okay, get back to my beef. So I grew up. Oh, come on, David.
What?
I grew up playing ping pong. We had a ping pong table in the patio when I was a kid, and my dad used to play at work, and so he was pretty good. And so as a kid, my goal was to beat him.
Right.
And so after years and years and years of playing him, I finally got to the point to where I could beat him every time. But I wasn't in like junior high after playing for like 10 years before I got to that point. And he was a very aggressive player. He would, he liked to smash it. And so my entire game was just returning the ball. That's all I did, was just hit it back and let him make a mistake. Yeah. So I got to the point to where I could return almost anything. And then when I was in high school, freshman in high school, I organized a ping pong tournament. And so during our freshman class party, we had a tournament and I won easily. So I was the class champion.
Okay.
And then my counselor, his name is Mr. Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Good old Mr. Wilson. Sure.
Yeah. He's like, Gary, let me play you. And he held the paddle funny. I had never seen this before. I was like, how are you holding that paddle? He says, oh, it's called the pen grip. Aaron, could you pull up my screen?
Okay.
So this is
called
the
the
pen
inker grip.
grip.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done that.
So that's ping pong players who hold the paddle like that know what they're doing. If you ever watch like ping pong in the Olympics,
Yeah.
that's how they're holding the paddle.
Yes.
A skunk game in ping pong is 7-0.
Okay.
I got 3 of those.
Meaning you got skunked.
3 times in a row, I didn't score a single point in 3 games. He had this wicked spin to where he would tell me where I was going to hit the ball before he would serve it. He was like, okay, I'm going to serve it to you, and you're going to hit the ball off the table over here, and I'm going to go over there and catch it. He would tell me this.
He was the Larry Bird of ping pong.
Exactly. Then he would, and I'm like, every fiber of my being is going to try to hit the ball the opposite side of the table that he tells me it's going to go. Yet I would hit it off the table exactly where he was waiting for every single time. So
he
my
beat you, he mocked you.
Mercilessly. So my stint of glory as the class ping pong champion lasted for about 15 minutes. So from this day, when I ever see anyone hold the paddle like that at a party where there's a ping pong table, I go for the punch.
He tests me.
Wow.
Beware of the pin style ping pong paddle.
Now, why didn't you switch to that?
I tried, and I just, because you don't turn the paddle around, you hit it with the same side all the time. you rotate it to where that side is facing the ball. You hold it the other way, like a tennis racket, you're using both sides.
Yeah,
So it's a completely different way of playing.
Yeah, the backhanding, holding it in the pin technique is more of a
right.
But it's you have to get yourself around so you can hit it. It's easier to hit it backhanded if you're right.
And it's all like this. You're hitting it like this. You're just rotating.
Yeah.
And the power you can put on it by backhanding it this way is much greater force than.
And you couldn't get it to work for you.
No, I mean I couldn't do it.
Wow.
Well, Gary, some things just don't work out for you. That's all right.
No. Yeah. So my ping pong glory days are bitter to me now. And I'm reminded every time I see someone hold the paddle like.
So were you unaware of this technique?
I had no idea.
Wow.
And then he told me about, that's how they play in the Olympics. And so I started watching those events, and it's true. You see the really good players all hold the paddle like that.
Did Gump hold it like that?
I don't remember.
Forrest Gump. That's a good question. I can't remember.
Yeah, that is a good
So all these years when you've been doing your inking, you've been training for this ping pong? Is that what's really going on?
I haven't played too much ping pong after that tournament.
After that ass whooping.
No.
But maybe you should try it now. Like in Karate Kid, where you wax on and wax off. Well, this is the same thing.
Well, I'm still doing it the old. I'm still doing it the old style.
What they'll do is just what's the Miyashi guy, whatever. He's going to take your pen out of your hand, and then he's going to put a paddle in your hand, and all of a sudden you'll be able to play ping pong because you've been inking all these years. Learning the motion.
Yeah. Okay, you might.
Very precise.
Now, was Tina involved in any of this?
No, Aaron. Tina was not involved in any of this.
Well, I would have thought that maybe as more of a revenge tactic, you could have put her in your tournament just so you could just destroy her.
Well, I couldn't put anyone in my tournament. They had to, sign up for it.
Well, give her a special invitation. Hey, Tina, would you like to, rather than stabbing me in the back with a pencil, maybe you'd like to take your aggression.
No, Tina and I did not have much dialogue when I was in high school.
Okay.
More of a sign language thing, kind of, huh?
If I saw her in the hallway, I would take a different route.
John Beatty says, Tina, want to hit my balls? Sequential artist for $5. Dan Lawless, I'm definitely interested in purchasing your rendition of Tigra. How should I proceed?
Are you on X? You can contact me through X. Or through my website, danlawless.com.
You can always get a hold of Dan at danlawless.
There's a contact email there, too.
All right, 5 minutes.
Either way.
Gentlemen. 5 minutes. Just realized I didn't take anything out for dinner. Gosh darn it. Pizza night.
Yeah, remember, if you're going to buy artwork off the show, you have to send Mickey her cut.
Yeah, she's a representative.
Yeah,
20%.
Yeah. Contact Mickey. She's gonna. She'll negotiate. Fair. She's gonna negotiate my price. She probably could do a better job than I can.
Yeah, you'll probably get more money with her commission.
Absolutely, I would be surprised.
All right,
Is it me? Is it me?
Huh?
Is it me?
Is it you?
Why you're not doing well, Aaron? Why you're all frustrated and flustered?
I don't know. I'm just having one of those days, The camera's not working. I got Tina on my mind, and it's just.
It's
Billy, this is actually
Tina
pretty
on your
normal.
It's Billy. It's the Tucci intimidation factor.
Yeah. Well, I'm struggling myself here, so I'm just doing roughs. You can't even see what I'm working on. Jeez.
I can't get Priscilla Presley out of my mind.
Well, she was always on your mind, wasn't she?
Yep. It's always on my mind.
There are worse things to have on your mind.
Well, 80-year-old Priscilla, though, probably not as good as young Priscilla.
Oh, is she 80?
Make it done.
Yep, she's 80.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, it's funny to think about. You don't think about that until you do the math. Like, oh, yeah, I guess she's got to be up there, right? Like Elvis would, if he was alive, be really an old guy,
Well, there was this great moment like that where Uncle Owen from Star Wars was a guest at the Portland Comic Book Show, and Richard Finn, who put him on, he would always have some event that we would do Friday before the show, right? And this time we were on a river brunch cruise, and so we were all just kind of sitting. I think it was one of the editors from Dark Horse. Gosh darn it, what was his name? Kind of a heavy guy with a beard.
Stradley.
No, heavy guy with a beard.
They're all heavy and with beard.
Yeah, but
it describes
extra heavy.
60% of the comic book fandom.
Yeah.
Now that's you saying that, not me.
Because I went on that same Columbia River cruise.
Are you talking about Bob Schreck?
Yes, Schreck. Thank you.
Yeah, I went on that same luncheon cruise at a different time with Lynn Wein and Marv Wolfman, and they're both fit that description.
Well, okay. So anyway, me and who is it again, David?
Bob Schreck.
Yeah, Bob Schreck. We're sitting there talking, and then kind of over the hill, it was like a movie scene, like because we were down at the water, the dock, and so the hill, it went up this hill, back up to the city, and so coming over the hill was this old guy covered in a blanket and somebody pushing him in a wheelchair, and we're like, who the heck is that old dude? And Shrek goes, oh my gosh. He goes, it's Uncle Owen. It was Uncle Owen, but he was like in a wheelchair because he was so old from, he was 30 years removed from the Star Wars.
Well, to be fair to celebrities, their 8x10 glossies are always of them in their prime. It's never.
Yeah. And crazy thing is that Priscilla Presley, when Elvis died, she was only 32 years old, I think.
Really?
Think about that. Yeah. She, he married her when she was
14 when they hooked up, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Really?
Okay.
Just saying.
That's the way things went back then.
That's the way things went with Elvis.
Yeah.
Actually, historically speaking, women were always getting married a lot earlier. Yeah.
Let's see. That's a lot earlier. I can't even believe I'm going to sign this. This sucks so bad, but I'm signing it. All right, here we go. But it's part of the show. Sometimes you got to embarrass yourself, and well, here we go. We'll start with mine. Oh, before I show the artwork, we have a pretty big audience going right now. I encourage you guys to please hit the like and subscribe button before you change your mind after you see what I've drawn. Because it does help the channel grow, which may not be an encouraging thing to say after you see this drawing, but there's hope springs eternal that next week will be better. So
hit the like button before everyone shares their art.
Yeah, exactly. Please hit it, hit it, and subscribe, please. For the
or hit the
God.
dislike button, whatever one.
All right, since my other camera's not working, I'm going to just hold it up.
All right.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, that's not bad. What are you talking about?
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. Boring.
I see the Basima.
Yeah, there's a little John in there, but
I think it's kind of cool.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
Okay enough.
No, I
think
like
it's
it. I
fantastic.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not terribly dynamic, but it's a nicely drawn figure.
Elliot Rodriguez said he unsubbed. Okay. Oh Lord. John Beatty says it looks like a doll to me.
John, it's an action figure.
Oh my gosh, humble brag. Now I really, but of course it is for sale if you happen to like it more than I do. So
Remember, send your money to Queen Mickey so she
wait a
can
minute.
get her.
I
commission.
never authorized that. Now hang on. Matthew Muma says it's not bad, Aaron. Well, okay, that's your mom, right? Well, that's nice.
That's what Katie
where is
did.
it? Wait a minute. I think little G has something to say about this.
Aaron, that's a solid third place.
There it is.
Does Katie did have an opinion on it?
I know she'll probably
She's always
yell at me.
encouraging.
Yeah, but she'll yell at me and it'll make it worse. So
Well, John Beatty's already started the auction for it.
$2 confirmed. Gee, thanks, John. Okay, let's see if David can beat me. David was complaining that his didn't turn out either. So let's
That's a great sculpture. He did that in 2 hours. What have you been doing?
wait a minute. Where's Spider Woman? You gotta show it.
You'd almost finish that other one.
No, I started over again, and then I was doing Hawkeye, and then I did a crummy Spider Woman. Man, nah, forget it.
These
All
look
of
all
it
right.
is hot garbage.
Oh well. To be fair, I see why you're doing that. That Batman's way better.
Yeah.
John Beatty, winner. He's only saying that because he wants that commission from you.
Yeah, well, he's gonna get a winner once he gets it. I bet you he'll come on the show after I finish it.
All right, so Dan, this is yours for the taking, unless you just totally blew it.
No, I think I did all right.
Wait, pull back.
Oh, you're having trouble.
Pull back.
Wait,
back. There you go.
Right,
Beautiful, Dan.
Sound like I'm a
All
beast.
right.
Back.
Well, I can't even put up a defense on this one. Someone says no tail. Where's the tail?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. He keeps forgetting the tail.
I know.
What is
That hand that's reaching out is so cool, so well drawn.
Well, thank you. What about the boobs?
And of course, your patented female faces.
I'm sure. What about the boobs?
Well, I knew that's what you were expecting me to say.
Those are called catnips.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, if this were a competition, but thankfully it is not. So
I know this. I almost don't want to sell it now. Someone was asking her is interested, but yeah, maybe I will. I don't know.
Sell it. Sell it. You can always draw another one.
Yeah. See, in artist speak, Dan just rose the price.
That's right. He doesn't want to sell it, so you're gonna have to offer him something.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of true. I think it's very good.
If the late great Prince was to write a song about it, it would be called Erotic Kitty.
She's smoking hot.
There you go. That's Dan Law. Billy,
cool.
would you like to show us something?
Yeah, it's just roughs. That's all. See, trying to work up that Kirby ship, and
I like your space.
Oh, is that
ship.
the Kirby ship in the background?
It's I don't know. I got a lot of work to do still on it. But she's like, "What's that?" And here comes a Soyuz thing is coming
That
towards
looks
them,
like
and they jump into the ship, and they're settling in, and then they show that the Soyuz is getting closer. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Beautiful.
Looks like a
So
fine
did you
stop.
get?
Fine stop.
Did you get a decent amount of work done?
So
Yeah, thank you.
you're
No, this was
on the
really therapeutic and enjoyable. I hope I could come on again. Seriously.
Well, I'm glad you.
Anytime,
well, no,
man.
let's see, Billy. This is your second time on. So again, who's going to be the first guest to have on 3 times? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, Billy would
I
be
think
fit
it's
that
a
bill
tie
for sure.
between, Dan and Billy.
Between who?
Well, I'd like to participate too, though. I'd like to
But you
participate.
put in so much work. You did so much drawing.
That's true.
Let's do this. Hang on.
Skullnasher says Billy won. Billy didn't even finish.
Whoa.
Let's see. Oh, now Eric Boyd, so you insulted him because he said, "No, we're too fat to buy his art."
Wow.
See?
Wow. What is
Eric.
going on here?
Eric, we didn't name any names.
No, Billy, was it Billy? Wasn't it you said that?
I said 60%.
Oh, you, it was Dan Lawless said that I described half the comic book readers by. See, it was Lawless said it, not Billy. Don't falsely accuse Billy. It's Dan.
I am a criminal.
He is a criminal at large. So
no one ever suspects me, though. I get away with everything.
I know. See, it's like through your voice or something.
You can interpret what Dan said is that means half of the comic book fans are in shape.
Yeah, they got washboard stomachs.
That's how I'd look at it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm going to run over and do the landing party where we're talking about the episode, The Gamesters of Triskelion. So you don't want to miss that.
Hey, Aaron, I got something to say before we go.
Yeah. See, it was too early. You got to bring it in right. I was going to ask you if you had something to say before we sign off. But see,
I didn't trust you.
Okay. All right. So I want to thank everybody for the super chats. Appreciate it very much, you guys. We thank you for participating, except for John Beatty. We thank everybody for participating. We couldn't do the show without you. And I happen to know that there are people lying in the shadows that don't ever say anything in the chat that watch this show regularly. And we appreciate you guys too. So thank you all. And I guess that's it. So
thanks, Aaron.
Thanks for joining us, Billy. Appreciate it very much. And we'll see you guys next week right here on Graybeard Studio.
Corn dogs. Corn dogs. Corn dogs.